Is that another box?
Does this ever stop?
It's either me, or the toys, or the toys, or the toys, or the toys, or the toys.
Welcome to the My Wife is Going to Kill Me podcast.
The podcast where me and my friends talk about the number one thing that makes our wives want to kill us.
Toy collecting. Transform. Roll out. Transform. And roll out. Transform.
That's America's ass.
And roll out. Transform.
M-W-I-G-T-K-M, my wife
Is going to kill me.
M-W-I-G-T-K-M, my wife
Is going to kill me.
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Oh, wow, you are dumb. All right, man's man, we'll see you on the flip-flop. I tend to lash out to protect my loved ones.
Travis.
At least he's just giving it the old whoppity dop dop.
It just keeps growing.
And it's good stuff.
Oh, shoot.
Jeremy.
Don't encourage him. I hope the cat pisses on you.
You're reading again, aren't you?
I like everything, so just tell me stuff.
Steve.
I'm being misrepresented here. You got no power over me, you harpy.
Did you put a period at the end of this statement?
M-W-I-G-T-K-M, my wife
Is going to kill me.
M-W-I-G-T-K-M, my wife
Is going to kill me.
Let the good times roll.
Progress.
She never called me back from Harbor Light either.
Oh, well, don't worry. I talked to him. Welcome, everybody. Jeremy has a knife. He's reached the bottom.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't know about you guys.
He's reached the lowest of the
guys
low.
are fucked.
You guys are fudged.
This is where change. This is where change starts happening when you reach rock bottom. This is where you decide what you're going to do with the rest of your life when you're approaching 50.
Man, right around the corner.
You feel
I mean,
like,
not for all of us, but
You feel like I've reached rock
No,
bottom, or is that just in general?
He's going through his like who am I phase because he's fucking putting like fucking bull rings in his nose
well,
and
that
trying to
happens
look
at
like
40. I think
trying
that
to look
happens
like
at
a
40.
That didn't happen
17-year-old.
to me. My dick just got smaller.
But I will tell you, and we're not going to touch on it real hard right now, but that exact generational difference amongst us is going to come out in today's Mount Rushmore.
Oh, I'm sure.
Just because of, when you really look at the parameters of this one, this is going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
So,
I like it.
not like the last two that were so fucking lame there was only 4 answers. So
I thought I would start simple.
So-
Yeah, we're testing the waters.
So we're gonna do a Mount Rushmore of my wife is gonna kill me podcast hosts. Who are you gonna pick, Trav?
I think we should tease the topic right now.
Change it right now?
Tease the topic.
Oh, tease it.
Not view it.
Get people that are on the live thinking about how
get
they
a
want to
little-
argue.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Oh,
Jeremy,
yeah, that'll be what
tell
keeps
him,
them in.
Tell him what our Mount Rushmore is going to be today. Our topic.
The top. Well, I guess it would be top 4.
That's what a Mount Rushmore is.
That is. It is.
Currently.
Laura had never heard of that. She'd never heard of that.
She'd never heard of Mount Rushmore.
Heidi.
huh?
No, that,
Yeah,
sure,
Courtney
Mount
was like,
Rushmore.
what?
I didn't get it either.
But like,
Hey, that must be a wife thing.
Can we?
Being
no, I
dumb?
think it's just a nerdy thing. We're like, what's your Mount
Oh,
Rushmore?
yes.
Like,
They don't rank
toys.
anything. They don't rank
no,
anything.
they don't. They're
Yes.
just like,
Can
his
we-
dick sucked.
Can we
they
appreciate the irony of Laura not getting mountain references?
God damn it.
Go out to dinner with a couple and the guy makes more money. I guarantee you women rank you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They rank you and
Did
stank
you see the car she drives? I'm like, you don't like the minivan?
I'm so
You
not
don't
a
like
car
my
guy.
Jeep?
I'm so not a car guy.
No, I don't even know what I drive.
Yeah.
I think you drive a Dodge Caravan.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds right.
That sounds
It
familiar.
rhymes with what I thought up.
Did you say the topic or did we skirt
No,
around?
you
Okay.
guys fucked me.
You wish.
Yes, I
Slut!
do. Top 80s sitcoms.
Yes, we're gonna
And
date
I'm-
ourselves here.
Well, and I'm anxious to get into a little bit of a debate on defining what a sitcom is, because one of you dum dums is
It's a
going to fuck
situation
that
comedy.
up. So
One of us will.
He
fuck
said
that
it had to
up.
have a laugh track right in the text.
Well, yes.
Didn't they all?
the type of I think I took that as maybe not having a laugh track, but
That's a
really
good.
that's a
definitely
good
gets
indication
in
of it
there.
being a sitcom.
Yeah.
He said laugh track and shit. That's what he said.
Yeah, laugh track. and
Slap
shit.
track and shit.
I don't know if mine had shit. I'm sure it did.
Well, when the special comes out behind the scenes about how the people were treated, and when the documentary comes out, there'll be plenty
yes.
of shit. So, because that's been the TV of now is all about talking about how bad the TV was of then. So,
I not to totally derail.
turns out
this.
growing pains was losing your
I
virginity
don't
on
think
set.
we were ever on it.
We're never on it anyway. But this is also like TV news and all that shit. But did you see that Sandman season 2 is canceled on Netflix? Which no one here probably besides me watched it anyway.
No, it was something
Was that
about
a-
Neil Gaiman, wasn't it?
That was
Yes.
Neil
This
Gaiman's.
is a fucking creep ass.
He's
well, he's a dude. I mean,
I don't even know who he is.
No,
I didn't
Neil-
watch it.
Neil Gaiman, American
he's a
Gods, and that. And he was American Gods too as well, right?
and
Yep.
and like countless other things.
There's is it Masterclass? There's that online thing you can pay a fee and learn how. Like he had a masterclass on writing a graphic novel, and like he's world renowned in his craft, and he is tumbling down the mountain right now.
And I hate to say this, of course, and no one will be shocked. I have no idea what he's being accused of. I know nothing.
I don't
the
look
only thing I
anymore.
know is I'm pissed that I'm not getting Sandman season 2, and I never read the comic. I like the show.
Right.
Yeah, something with I don't know, sex and girls and
Inappropriate behavior for
yeah,
sure.
It sounds like he was just being a piece of shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
So I started American Primeval. I know we're not on TV shows yet, but I started American Primeval, and it's pretty rare for me where I'm kind of like, you know what I mean? Like
That's the show, though.
It was kind of like in 2025, right? 2024, I expect gratuitous violence. There's an expectation for that, but there are some things where I'm like, I don't think they'll be allowed to portray people in a certain way. This show doesn't give a fuck.
No, I've never been so scared of Native Americans.
I mean, it was.
Did you watch Last of the Mohicans?
That didn't have the scenes, the arrows, the way they shot
I
the
know,
arrows.
I know.
That is super well done.
In
Very
this-
well done.
But I'm only 1.5 episodes in, so I'm still very.
It was enough, though.
But it was enough to go,
Yeah.
motherfucker! Like they're just because I could, the idea of the brutal scalping drunken engines, and I'm like, they're stereotyping all of this in this show. Now, historical accuracy, I don't know all
Right.
this stuff.
Same here.
But a lot of times it still isn't one of those things where they wouldn't there's a certain culture that wouldn't allow their ancestors to be portrayed this way. This show is doing it very
I
specific.
think it's doing.
you know?
Well, I've done a little research on the truth of it. and
Shocking.
it is. I'm sure
The
there's
teepees typically were not made in that fashion. They're using 9-post teepees. History says they're 7, but I'm going to let that slide because I do like the original content.
the basic story is pretty is there.
I believe that. Yeah,
So,
I believe that.
But it's when you portray the white people are portraying these violent Indians. The Indians are portraying the violent Mormons. The Mormons are portraying the violent white people. It's so often in history you get one side of the story and it's lopsided in a certain way. This one is like, hey, no, we're all terrible.
They're all terrible.
It doesn't matter what color skin we are. It doesn't
You
matter
had
what
to
our
be, though,
beliefs.
didn't you?
Survival, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So did you notice? Did you notice who the leader of the Mormons is?
I did. But I knew that because we did talk
I
about
talked
that
about that?
actor, right?
Okay.
But I'm like, I seen him and I was like, okay, first and foremost, he creeped me out plenty on the fucking boat in Waterworld.
I just watched Water. Go. I'm not going to sidetrack it. Go.
And I,
not on this podcast, motherfucker.
I loved him. I loved him in Sons of Anarchy, one of my favorite characters. And I'm watching him in this, and I'm like, you're creepy.
Yeah.
Like he's
good.
just creepy.
He's a good actor.
He's really
and
he's
the
crushing
look
it.
they give him too is
and it's the kind of the deadpan kind of staring off, like just the absolute blind belief in something. He
Also
he's-
genius, probably.
yeah, he's a cult leader
At that time,
I mean,
yeah.
he really is a cult leader.
Yeah.
and because let's be honest, every cult leader has been fucking weird. You know what I mean? It kind of comes along with it.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
I'm gonna break that
But-
trend.
I love the. But
Newsflash, you're kind of weird, man.
but even wanted to be called the LDS and not Mormons. Like, no, we're the Latter-day Saints. Like, we don't want to be called Mormon.
Latter-day
You know. Anyways, but yeah, so I appreciate the recommendation, but it is a show that, I mean, that's not because I've seen enough with an almost what would have been a brutal rape scene. Honestly,
we are.
that gets appended and stopped,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But just the feeling of what you're like, okay, this is where this is going. I'm uncomfortable in this moment. I'm like, it's something that it's like, I'm in my bedroom, doors shut, I'm by myself, because I can't trust that if one of my kids walks out, something's not going to happen and scar them.
Yeah.
So I'm a little bit limited on the pacing of being able to watch it, but there's
How
been
far
more
are
than
you
one.
in? Do you hate the woman yet?
I don't. So at this point, is everybody watching it?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
Travis
do you-
has seen it. I've
do you-
seen it. You've
do you-
seen it. No, you haven't. Oh, I thought you
Oh,
had.
fuck,
I'm-
Cody.
So
This screams you, buddy.
basically,
Talk
I'm
about Penguin.
I'm only as
Not
I'm
even
only
half.
as
I like
far
this
in
intro,
as they're at this point they're running. They just escaped the little cave thing. I'm very very early on.
Oh,
So I do not like her, and right now I don't know if she's good or bad because they've given you both ways.
Yep, they've given you the.
And I'm curious
they've
to
opened the
see
door.
how that opens up.
So-
but I do not in this moment I do not like her. I do not think I'm going to like her. But
I
that
love.
could change.
I really like this series. Overall, I recommend it. Everybody should
good.
watch it.
So good.
My only critique, my biggest critique is it suffers from the same thing that Outlander suffers from, where this woman, and it doesn't have to be a woman, it could be any character. In this case, it happens to be a woman. She needs help. She gets the help, but then decides to undermine everything that she just asked for help for to get everybody in danger all the time.
Yeah.
And it makes me want them to kill her.
So
Because-
without it, and you're gonna get there.
Maverick, we knew it was you.
But what I will say is how I interpreted it, not justified it, but if you imagine someone who lived in a big city in that time frame, who now decides they're going to travel west and become and she has her own reasons for doing this, of course. Your concept of what the world is like is much different than reality, especially back then.
But I would feel like a sane person being thrown into that would learn awful fucking quick.
Steven, she's a woman.
That's true. But I went through this with. Okay, I just mentioned Waterworld. Tig he's a creepy guy in that.
Oh,
too.
yeah,
Love it.
absolutely
He plays it good.
Right.
Anyways,
He's great.
Who's the actor?
Kim Coates.
Kim Coates. Yep.
And if you saw him, you'd be like, "Oh,
That's what I'm gonna do, so I can go. Oh,
So and first of all, I gotta say, Matt Rodriguez loves Waterworld. It says a
Absolutely
lot
loves it.
about Matt because I watched it and I haven't seen it in probably 20 some years.
Yep."
I only watched it because of this podcast. If you guys remember, I watched it like as
really-
part of the Man movies. Remember that?
Yep.
Vacation.
It really could have been good, but they really stunk it up in a lot of areas.
Of course.
in my opinion. I mean,
Yes.
some of the fight scenes were just There's no way. Okay, you're on a boat that doesn't have a motor and a sail, and there's an airplane attacking you. How are you going to survive that without making it look dumb?
Right.
And, why don't they just shoot them?
Yeah.
It's kind of stuff like that. But anyways, so obviously Kevin Costner's character is a badass at one point. He's just a crumpy old son of a bitch, doesn't want anything to do with that. These two passengers that he's stuck with, right? And the woman touches something on his boat that he doesn't like. And he takes the little girl and he throws her in the water. The mother is like, she can't swim. He's like, I don't fucking care. Then don't touch my shit.
How you live in an entire world of water? How can you not swim?
That's another thing.
I mean,
And that's another thing. And so the mother jumps in the water.
it's kind of a necessary survival skill, I
you would
think,
think.
in that world.
The mother jumps in the water, and I'm watching this with Courtney. The mother jumps in the water. She swims down and saves her kid. He fucking has a moment of remorse, and he fucking turns the boat around so that they can get back on the boat and be okay. She gets on the boat and she starts bitching at Kevin Costner. And I'm like, what the fuck is she doing? And Courtney's like, well, she just threw his girl. And I'm like, yeah. Once you throw someone's kid in the water with not giving a fuck, I'm scared of that son of a bitch. And I
you
am
should
not.
He just set the bar.
Yeah, you should know.
I am not going to yell at him. I am going to get on the boat.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
I'm going to sit down and I'm going to shut up and stop nagging his fucking ass is what I'm going to do because I want to survive. And I'm like, where do you get off thinking that just because you're a girl you can get up and start bitching at everybody? Fuck around and find out.
That's right. What would Charles do?
What would Charles do?
Is that a Little House on the Prairie reference?
Hell yes. This is what made me the man I am.
A Little House on the
I think
Prairie.
you should start dressing like that.
What is, without looking it up, can you guys hit me up with why I know Taylor Kitsch?
Oh, I will.
Friday Night Lights?
I'll give it to you real quick.
I didn't watch that.
Uh,
The movie or the show?
The show.
I didn't watch the show.
I'm just gonna be honest. I never watched. What is it called again?
Dr.
Little
Quinn
House on the
Medicine
Prairie.
He was
Little House on the
Gambit
Prairie because I liked pussy.
in Wolverine.
And it shows.
X-Men Origins Wolverine.
It shows by your morals, your integrity,
Okay.
everything,
All those things.
your life.
Battleship.
Yes.
Um,
All those
I
things.
didn't watch Battleship.
shows.
Painkiller.
American Assassin.
Lone Survivor.
Oh, the Mars. What's his John Carter?
John Carter.
John
That was the
Carter?
one that sunk his career. John Carter.
Oh,
You
yeah,
might not
John
have even
Carter.
seen that because it was a
You don't
full
remember
boat
the-
sci-fi.
Played David Koresh in the
Okay, yes, that's where I know. I knew him from something in the Waco. That was
Yes.
great. My most excited. So the actor that plays, I think his name is Fincher, the guy who's like in charge of the
Oh, yeah.
town.
Yeah.
I love that guy.
He's great.
He's just awesome.
He's great
And
in
I
this,
didn't,
too.
and I recognized the voice, and I had to IMDb it because he just didn't. It was dark enough and the full beard, and I had to. And I'm like, I love this guy.
He's
Did you
great.
catch Harry Osborn?
Harry Osborn, like from
Andrew.
Andrew Garfield
from One
Spider-Man?
Direction.
No, from Andrew Garfield Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, the guy that was in the Metallica movie.
I don't know. I guess
I didn't even know there was a
Yeah, you
Metallica
don't know.
movie.
He
Harry
played
Osborn.
Green
Like a
Goblin.
live concert with some story. It was. I didn't even watch the whole thing.
It's a guy who
It
got
was dumb.
scalped.
Oh, okay. That was brutal.
Can we just discuss why you watched American Primeval?
I actually saw a video, or not a video. I saw a headline of a thing asking like, "Is this too brutal?"
Yeah.
and it made me want to find out how brutal it was.
Yeah, get that.
That's exactly why I just added the new Rocco Siffredi or Rocco Siffredi. I had a clickbait of Netflix subscribers are canceling in an uproar over this vulgar sexual, and I texted it to Amanda. I said, "Hey, I'm putting this on the watch list."
Right.
'Cause I'm
It sounds like something I like.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah. What brought you to it?
You guys,
Just talking about it. Yeah.
I knew nothing about it. You guys brought it up, and I thought, and I was home alone the other day, and I'm like looking for something to watch, and I was like, well, I'll check this out, and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So
For me, it was a combination, and this is gonna obviously what you said too, the brutality aspect. I actually enjoy westerns. Like I feel like a lot of times they have great stories. But also this will probably speak to my sexuality. I was like Taylor Kitsch.
Right.
I'm like, I like
But
that.
coming
dude.
out, and like I said, coming off of Deadwood, I was already kind of in a good vibe.
Oh, yeah.
Cocksuckers!
Yes.
Did I mention on the podcast that I Googled it? And the least amount of times in an episode they say fuck is 36 on Deadwood.
Wow.
Yeah. That's the least amount of times it occurs in an
word.
episode.
Sometime I'll finish.
Fuck cocksuckers!
So, Cody, you
Yeah.
had a near-death experience
We
on the
did
way
have a
here.
near-death
Do you
experience
want
on
to
the
talk
way
about
here.
that? Because you were a little shaken up.
Oh.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't shaken up. You had it under control, Steve. Yeah, we're on the highway, going pretty fast, I will say.
Yeah.
For our European listeners, the E-Way.
And last night we got a few inches of snow.
It's slick out there.
Yeah,
Looks like.
roads were pretty bad. Steve's talking to me, and then we're going around this corner, and all of a sudden the back end starts giving out.
In a minivan.
In the minivan, yeah. The back end starts giving out. Car starts fully going sideways on the highway. There were no other cars next to us or anything like that. And then all of a sudden we're turned completely left, and I'm like kind of freaking out a little bit, and then Steve is just like it's not affecting him at all.
Yeah.
He's like,
Nothing.
I planned on this.
Yeah, he's like, we're
I did
fine,
this
we're
on
fine,
purpose.
Cody, and we're like facing the complete opposite direction. Then what does he do? He starts turning left to go right, turning right to go left, and then all of a sudden, boom, we're just back right in the middle, in the center, and he just continues on his conversation like nothing happened.
No big deal.
Yeah.
I just keep thinking of Gene Hackman in The Replacements. When Shane Falco shows up there in the final game, and he goes, "Shane, it's nasty out there." And he goes, "That's why girls don't play the game, coach." And earlier, because he says something, that's what Gene Hackman says to him. I could just see Steve. Cody goes, "That's why girls don't play the game." You know what I mean? Like just.
But then I get here, and I looked at his tires. His front ones are like brand new. His back ones, there's no tread on whatsoever.
Cheap fucking bastard.
Did it on purpose.
You gotta get all forward play same time.
But yeah,
Right.
so we completely just drifted a minivan on the highway. Like
Seems like
70
it's
miles per hour.
seems like it's my wife's car.
When I'm wearing my gear,
He was leather jacket.
Did he have driving gloves with the fingers cut off?
tell you what, it's you got to stay cool under pressure. And I had my little Cody with me, and I wasn't going to let him down.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like mid drift, he like turned over and like put my heated seat on.
You comfortable?
Not only am I going to save that ass, I'm going to warm it up.
20 years as a plow truck driver, municipal plow truck driver. I've seen some shit. I don't get rattled too easy on the slipperies.
And that is something that we have in common. When people get into shit, like everybody's battening down the hatches, they're avoiding the roads because the weather's bad. That's unfortunately when people sometimes need us the most. And it's like, okay, well, here we go. I guess we're going to drive in it regardless.
Yep.
And
Well, when you have a job like that, the reality is you have no choice.
Right.
Like you're
you got to get good. And, and on the emergency driving aspect to it, everybody wants to turn lights and sirens on. Everybody wants to go fast. And it's like, no. At the end of the day, we drive sometimes to buildings that are on fire without our lights and sirens. Because if you can only safely go 20 miles an hour, why the hell are we running lights and sirens and freaking out everybody else that's on the road?
Right.
And this is the time of year where you get inexperienced drivers or drivers that you creep up on them because they're distracted, and all of a sudden they bail off to the right to get out of our way, which we appreciate, but put themselves in the ditch because they don't realize that there's
The
a
big
bunch
question
of snow
is,
there, you know?
The big question is, are they bailing off to the right to go left?
No. Well, the hardest part is, and I don't know, I don't remember exactly which states, but the states immediately south of us, Ohio, Illinois, and Indiana, they every state has different laws on what you do for emergency vehicles. So in the state of Michigan, you're supposed to yield to the right if safe to do so. Some of those other states don't have that. We get a ton of people in our community that are from those states for the summer. So you're pulling up to an intersection, to Michigan go right, and Illinois and Indiana stay put, and you go, okay, well, I guess I'm going into this lane to get around everybody. But yeah, there's definitely something to when you're forced into those situations of having to be on the roads, you better get your shit together.
Travis, have you ever turned your lights on?
They're auto, dude. I get in the car, and if there's a sensor, if they come on their own.
I think he meant your red and blue lights.
Oh, once in a while.
You can see it when he stands up. It glows.
The other day,
I picture.
I had to get home to take a shit.
I picture
There's
something
definitely been a
happening.
code brown.
I picture something happening, and Travis not remembering how to turn them on.
He goes to turn the lights on, and
And,
whoop 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 whoop. Oh shit, that's the siren.
Actually, it's probably the opposite. I'm the one that forgets to turn them off.
I'm telling you right now.
Why is everybody pulling over?
What the fuck is going on?
on a bright sunshiny July
you have
day,
no clue. You have no
all of a
clue.
sudden the radio goes up. Hey chief, lights are on. Oh, shit, thanks man.
Yes.
I worked with cops. I've worked with cops all my life. Not. I mean, alongside them, not with them.
That's why he's got a law enforcement tattoo. He just supports
I
it.
do not have a law enforcement tattoo, but I'm not opposed to getting one. We
Blue Lives Matter.
and one time I was driving at work. I'm in a DPW city worker truck, and all of a sudden this cop car comes up behind me. It's one of our cop cars, and his lights go on and he flies around me. I'm like, okay, and so I talked to him later, and I'm like, hey man, You have something happen today? He goes, no. I accidentally turned my lights on. He goes, didn't want to look stupid, so I took off like I had someplace to go.
That's a very real thing. The other one on the flip side of that, that's another one too, because I'll be heading to a call, and they'll downgrade me. So they'll get on the radio and say, hey, everybody can respond priority 2, which means you can turn off your lights and sirens. It isn't as bad as what the initial dispatch call was. But I'll be coming up on an intersection. People are already starting to move. So I continue through the intersection with my lights and sirens, get clear of it in traffic, and then turn them off. Because if not, you just look like an absolute asshole, either all of a sudden turning off before the intersection, or if you do it immediately following, they go, hey, he just turned his light on so he didn't have to wait. And I'm like, come on, are you kidding me? So
One of my favorite coworker stories, not my own. My buddy tells me he's working night shift and he's just driving through town, and it's a nice little safe, friendly town, of course. But he's driving through town and he sees on the block over through an intersection, blue and reds flying through the intersection, and he's like, "What the fuck? Like, I didn't hear anything on the radio. Like, what's going on?" So he like accelerates, next intersection, gets a flash of it on the next block over, turns. Is following. All of a sudden, the car pulls into the police department. He pulls in. He's like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "I just gotta go to the bathroom."
of course, classic.
I'd probably be doing that a lot.
Well, cops always freak us out because where you're sitting around doing your thing, all of a sudden you hear a siren, and you go, "Did we miss something?"
Yeah, what's happening?
You know, like oh shit, like are we supposed to? Because it's pretty like law enforcement doesn't use your sirens nearly as much as we do. If we're moving, our lights if our lights are on when we're moving, our sirens on. That's our policy. PD doesn't do that because PD sometimes needs to have the element of surprise or whatever. We don't want to surprise anybody.
He refers to himself
clear,
as PD.
No,
PD.
Sorry, PD.
Yeah, PD. When PD says something, people do shit.
PD's gonna get it.
PD says we gotta do this. He's like The Rock. He's referring to himself as third person.
I'm all of a sudden Bo Jackson. Sorry, PD, police department, period D period. That's a good catch. PD gonna get there. When PD calls, you come running.
Well, I think we know that. Change the name of the episode now.
Yeah.
There is, I will tell you that it's kind of funny because especially these younger people coming into the job, they'll ask like, it's probably old hat at this point. I'm like, no, I'm 23 years into this job and I still hitting them lights and sirens and going like there's still excitement there for me. Which I mean, I think if I ever get to the point of where I'm not excited to do this job, it's probably when I should probably hang up my helmet. But
PD hangs his helmet.
But I still, man, to this day, I light them up and go. It's good stuff.
Since we kind of already did our "What Are We Watching" segment, I just want to add one thing. Season 2 of a show that I don't think any of you have watched. It's on Apple TV. Severance. It is friggin' fantastic.
What, Adam Scott?
Yeah.
Someday.
I've heard great things. It's been on my Apple Watch list forever.
I loved the first season. Slow burn. You got to be, you're gonna sit here and you're gonna wonder what's going on. It's one of those. It's one of those types of films. But you're watching it, right? Are you caught up, Cody? Mm-hmm. You see episode 3?
Yeah.
I was so pissed at where it ended.
Yes.
Like this is one of those. Have you ever been genuinely mad? Like don't stop. Credits come out. Fuck! I gotta wait another week. 'Cause they don't drop it.
Can you just a quick synopsis of the premise of the show?
Premise of the show is
it's the work versus home life one, right?
You get your brain split. So you.
Oh yeah. I remember you
your work
talking about
self
this.
doesn't know anything about your home self, and your home self doesn't know anything
God,
about
I
your
would
work
love
self.
that.
You're like it sounds like a dream come true.
Yes, you go to work.
Hey Jeremy, isn't that what unemployment is?
Hey-o!
But your work
Back
self.
when I had one of them jabs.
You go
But
in,
your work self.
clock in, and then you're instantly clocking out. Like you're out of your.
You never get a break.
So your job could be that you're a fucking murdering monster, but you have no idea because you come home and get to live a very happy, normal
I
life.
don't think that. I don't think that's really employable. A murdering monster. I think that's a side hustle. That's a dark web thing.
It's crazy because you're
I want to be a monster.
your Audi, which is your person out of work,
Yeah.
has to bring themselves to work. I mean,
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
getting paid.
Yep.
So they have to get their work clothes on.
Yeah, yep.
And they have to go to work and clock and go into this elevator. And while they're going in the elevator is when that elevator somehow switches their brain.
Yeah, yeah.
Boom. So
the
you're-
music. Jeremy's jingle comes on.
Yeah.
And so
Muskie con.
one of you goes to work, goes down the elevator, and immediately feels like they're coming out of the elevator to go home.
Yeah.
And the other one of you is just constantly going to work all the time.
Oh,
And
God,
you're-
it sounds miserable.
So yeah, one of you
Oh,
is
The
Yeah,
work
your other-
guy.
yeah, your
the
other
work
guy's
guy
gonna-
sounds miserable.
He's gonna hate you.
Yeah.
No
And you're-
coming for you.
He's gonna want to kill you.
and your
Yeah.
and your Audi has no idea what you even do at work.
Yeah.
All they know is, hey, I gotta dress like in a suit.
This sounds like my life every day.
Travis has already found a way to split his brain.
Travis is more like Drew Barrymore in 50 First Dates.
Forgets every
Just,
day.
he goes to bed and he wakes up and just has the same day over and over again.
He's got to watch a little video telling him what
Yeah.
he does.
So
Here's what you missed, Travis.
All right.
to give you just a little taste, like say your work self is miserable, right? And they have the opportunity to tape themselves talking to their Audi and saying, "Look, man, this sucks. I hate it here. Stop this."
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. And your work self is like,
Kind of like
you
my
watch
life.
the video and you go, "No, fuck you." Would you say "fuck you" to you
Yeah.
if you didn't know you?
If you didn't know, it's
You don't
not-
know that other you. It's a
not
totally
you.
If I stop going, that person's gone.
Yeah, they never become conscious again. So it's basically like killing
You're
them.
killing him. You're doing the best thing for him. Live your life.
Live your life, not knowing if you have
Do they get
kids.
to switch roles? Like, what is there?
Never.
Dusty says everyone at the table has multiple personalities except Pete. and Deshaw jumps in with that's a fair statement, Dusty.
Yeah, Pete's pretty one-dimensional.
That's hurtful.
Petey.
Only because I'm skinnier than you now, you're still four-dimensional, you fat fucker.
Because you. Congratulations on your good insurance.
Dude, so it's
I was prescribed the same medicine, and they said no.
so what's super funny is everybody's like, "Oh my god, you look great. What are you doing?" And I'm like ignoring the doctor, and they're like, "You're gonna have to explain."
Yeah.
Doctor's like, "Listen, Pete, you're gonna die. You need to eat better." No, thanks. Hey, Pete,
Not a fan.
You need to exercise. You need to drop some. No, I'm good. Hey, Pete, your diabetes, A1C, like you got to do something. No, thank you. Hey, here's this shot down 100 pounds. That's American. It doesn't get more American than that.
Without a
You know what I
doubt.
mean? I'm like, I've been getting a ton of compliments, which is amazing, right? And I greatly appreciate that.
You
But
needed that.
But I am full. Yeah. I am full on like I'm a cheater. Like I make no bones about the fact that I'm cheating my fucking ass off to get where I am today, you know? Now I am terrified because I know what my first dose cost me and then my second dose, then my third dose, and then I'd hit my deductible. And then I got to the milligrams the doctor wanted me at. Now I'm on a 3-month. So there's a good chance that I'm going to roll in next week to get my first 3-month
Oh.
after the new calendar year started with my insurance, and it's going to cost me $2,000 for my medicine for 3
wait.
months.
And then your
So-
deductible will be met at least, or
Close. I'll be
Okay.
at
A shot
1,000
that
shy.
lasts 3 months.
No. It's a shot that lasts 1 week, but as I was increasing my dosage, it was 1 month at a time.
Yep.
Well, now that I've hit the dosage that he wants me at, now they're doing a 3-month long prescription, so it's 12 shots instead of just 4 at
I
a time.
understand.
So my last dose before my deductible hit was $617 for 1 month, and I have a sneaky suspicion now it's going to be, but that was at a lower dose. Too, so
Yeah.
I have no idea what I think. I'm gonna walk in there and go.
At some point,
Holy
you're gonna
shit.
be like, "Well, guess I'm on my own."
Fortunately, the way our HSA works, I still have zero out of pocket expense because of how our healthcare plan works. So I have to pay it, but it's money that my employer provided to me. So I'm very fortunate in that aspect. But I also worked for dog shit wages for 20 years. So
to get where you're at.
to get where I'm at.
Yeah.
But yes, but it is a little bit concerning because at the end of the day, that HSA money would have been great in retirement, to have. But I'm going through it every year to stay on this medicine.
Thanks to
Probably
your
weren't
medicine,
gonna
at
live-
least you can think about retirement. I'm not going to make it.
Shit, I just
That-
When
that
we
is
get off the
devastating.
air,
My
we'll
retirement
discuss
to
our
live.
retirement plans. I don't get to retire, Steven. I get to die.
Me too.
So
same.
yeah.
Steve got a gym membership,
Yeah.
so he's going.
Which
to
No,
one?
I already have
Jim Bagtaz?
Jim Bag.
Slim Jim?
Planet Fitness.
Why?
Nice and cheap.
Wanted to make some changes.
So do it in
Or
your
just
do it
waste
in your
money on something
basement.
else other than toys.
Are you going?
No.
Called it.
So one thing real quick I want to remind everybody is we are fully capable today to be able to Patreon the spot. So if we have a topic come up and you go, we want to hear from somebody, let me know. And
can't
we'll get
wait.
them dialed in.
That'll be fun.
So if something comes up and you're like, we should get somebody on the outside to call, we'll do it. We got the fucking wheel set up. Numbers are programmed in the phone. The majority of people have gotten a message from me saying, hey, it's Pete. So then they know. So when they see the number, not everybody, but
how many numbers did you end up getting?
we have.
I wonder how many patrons are willing to be a part of this. Oh, what'd you have this morning?
I yesterday had Long John Silver's.
That's bad.
They still
Yeah.
exist.
I had like 6 hush puppies, and yeah, that's
There's I have 14
Nice.
on the
14 brave souls.
and hopefully, at least for the next couple of months before the bit goes away, fuck you, Maverick. And hopefully people are like, oh, that's kind of cool. I want to get in on that.
Yeah.
Now, the one thing that we are going to do is I'm going to try to mix it up, so it's not like we don't inadvertently call the same person 3 weeks in a row.
Understandable.
Have you guys watched any of the episodes of It's Florida, Man?
Yeah.
Never even heard of it.
It's a little comedy series. Each episode is a different story, but it's real stories that have happened in Florida
Oh, I couldn't imagine.
with actors playing roles.
Yeah.
One of my favorites so far has been the second episode. The guy who plays Uncle Rico and Napoleon Dynamite plays like this gay guy who like lives in a fucking, he calls it the Empire, but it's just this rundown fucking trailer. Anyway, so the very first episode, I can just give you the premise of it, and then they all are different, but they're just crazy stories.
Of course, from Florida. Yeah. Joe Russo.
And the first one is like a dude wanted to go to like a EDM concert,
Yeah.
and he needed money, and he had no money, so he put like an ad out there like, I want, give me money, no
do
weird
anything.
shit, or like
I'll do anything.
Yeah, I'll do anything, just like no sexual shit.
No weirdos.
Right. Well, a guy ended up getting a hold of him and said that he wanted him to cut off 3 of his toes. Not the guy who wanted the money, but the guy was like,
Cut
come
my
to my
toes off."
house, cut off 3 of my toes, cook them, and eat them in front of me, and I'll give you it was like $4,000 or something. So the dude like
First
grabbed-
he said no. He was like, no, that's weird.
right,
Then
and then he's like, I need money.
I want to go to that concert.
he's
he
like
went-
obsessed with this artist. I think it was
Yeah.
like Bass Nectar or something like that. He's like,
Yeah, it was Bass Nectar,
obsessed.
yeah.
And
So
that's why he wanted.
yeah,
it
he
so
ends up
bad.
going to the guy's house, and doesn't quite work out, but it kind of works out, but it kind of doesn't anyway. But then the Bass Nectar concert ended up getting canceled anyway.
Yeah.
So even so that's just one episode. It's like it gets pretty funny, man. God, the meth dude that like
The-
went into
on
the
the
swamp
lake,
and like
yeah.
swam with alligators.
He's
Shit.
like drunk or high or whatever, and he just like wanted to swim across this lake in the middle of the night. Alligators like got a hold of him, took his arm
ripped
or
his
hand
fucking
off.
arm off,
Yeah,
his
ripped
entire
off.
arm, and he fucking somehow lived 3 days in the swamp, walking naked through it with his arm.
Without an arm.
It had been crushed enough to where he didn't bleed out
Oh,
fully.
lucky him.
And like you could tell he's got to be methed up in the
Yeah.
fucking episode too, and he's like, "Man, I just want to get out there and do it again right now."
What the fuck's Ron doing in Florida? Okay, so let's take this. So $4,000. Are you chopping off a dude's 3 toes and eating them? $4,000.
No, and I think the main
I-
reason is because I saw a scene where it like they envisioned what it would look like.
Yeah.
And it was like a full toe, nail, bone, everything, and I'm like, no.
I mean-
maybe if they took the nail off and the bone out. But
No.
no.
Well, I mean,
No.
the bone. It's just like chicken finger or chicken wings.
I don't eat the bone.
I know, but you eat the chip meat off the bone.
No, I'm gonna
Yeah,
throw
but
up
there's the
on your
nail.
fucking face.
You had to eat the bone itself.
I'm gonna throw
Or
up on your
could you-
fucking face.
I don't know.
Like, I'm not.
Could you
no.
cook them?
Even
and-
just thinking about it's making
There-
you sick.
Yeah,
They
I'm-
didn't give us all of that.
Okay, I might
detail.
do it if it's fried.
I could cut your fucking. I could cut
Breaded?
your toes off for $100.
Breaded, no finger, no toenail, maybe.
No,
I
I'm
think
sorry.
just the actual cutting of someone's toes, I couldn't do that part.
I would do that right now. Cody, Cody, you in on this?
No.
$4,000 isn't enough.
4,000 is so
Okay, so
low.
coming
It's
today,
very low. I understand.
coming
cooked,
today,
Steve-O, cooked.
later is I'm going to post the Patreon episode that we did with the girls or with today. But one of the topics we did, which you're not going to hear, you're going to hear on there is a question, and I think this is hilarious. The question was, we asked the girls and then we asked other people. Zombie apocalypse happens. For the girls, we would say your husband is dead. So if this Courtney is answering the question, I'm dead. She cannot pick me. She has to pick one other person to try to survive with, and it has to be one of the other three hosts of this show. So Courtney could only pick Jeremy, Travis, Pete. And we went through a bunch of people.
It seems like an over explanation. I think that probably could have been a little bit easier.
That's how I explain things.
Okay. And then we brought other people in, like Kyle, and just said, hey, which one of the four hosts would you pick? Blah, blah, blah. There was a unanimous person who was not picked. Over
Yeah.
and over and over.
I know what my
And-
role is.
Huh? No, it wasn't you.
Wasn't it?
The least
it
picked
was.
person wasn't you.
Are you sure?
It was Travie.
Was it?
Least picked person. I think only one person picked him.
I think the choice, well, because it had something to do with Arsenal.
It was the only reason.
That I got chosen.
Yeah, I don't think I got chosen at all. I mean,
Yeah,
other
she-
than entertainment. That would be the only thing I
Sustenance.
had.
Okay, I should say, maybe you didn't get chosen, but multiple people, almost everyone, immediately answered the question, well, not Travis.
Yes, that is true. That's fair, yes.
Because I know I'm going to eat their toes.
And okay, so I'm at home talking to Courtney about this because Courtney was here the whole time. And I'm like, you know what's funny about that whole thing? Guess who I'm picking?
Travis.
Because he'll eat somebody's fucking toes. He'll fucking do surgery on his cat. He'll fucking do all this crazy shit, and he won't give a fuck.
Naked.
He'll kill people. I think he could kill people. I think he could kill people and not even give a fuck.
And not care.
I think he could kill people, sit down, and then talk to me about
He's
comic
the guy
books.
willing to go fucking swimming through the fucking swamps naked.
With the gators.
I've seen him out.
without an arm and be like, let's do it again.
I've seen him.
That was fun.
You're a Florida man.
I've seen him out in his backyard, naked, in a fucking fish pond, up to his knees in fucking filth, dirt, mud, picking through fucking weeds, and he don't give a fuck.
He's
He is
putting
the-
down animals weekly and like
Yeah,
doesn't
his dog fucking has his dog got a little sick. He shot the fucker.
He beat it with his fists.
Dude,
How
I'm
dare you make me feel emotions?
He's got fucking weapons. No! He's got fucking weapons. Everybody was picking Pete because they're like, oh, but Pete can stitch you up. I'm like, no, you know a fucking zombie bite? You're dead. I can't get Pete. By the time I'm into Pete, I'm fucked. I want that fucker. I am taking... He's got guns. I got guns. We would be a fucking arsenal.
We would have an
between
arsenal.
the two of us.
Travis would be the king of this.
He may kill me.
The flowers.
I totally related with Carol.
Yep. That's the only downside is Travis may kill me. But
Travis always has blood splatter on his face. For the entire zombie apocalypse, he's just covered in somebody else's blood.
if we
Still
have,
happy.
if we're starving and he brings me meat, I know it might be a human, but he's just gonna give it to me and be like, "Here, eat this." And I'll be like, "All right, I'll fucking do
Is
it."
this human? Ah, bud. It's fine.
Would I do that to you? You would. You absolutely would.
So,
And he wouldn't like kill you looking at you in the eyes. He would comfort you before he did it.
The worst part about it,
Yeah.
the worst part about being off by Travis, like the zombie virus has taken over. I haven't turned yet. I'm in excruciating pain, and I'm like, Travis, just fucking, will you please change the goddamn Spotify playlist? Show me mercy and turn this bullshit off. What the fuck
Like
is
calming,
this?
soothing ambient music, and he's just like,
Half of his song sounds like somebody from Jamaica talking in a pile of beer cans in a shopping cart going down a hill. And I'm like, what the fuck is this, Travis? Oh, I dig this. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Christopher Kelly, I know you work for NASA, but it's not the water that's bad. It's the pipes that the water has to go through. Right?
Pete walks in this morning. He's like, "Is this fucking video game music?"
And it felt like it was the same song for 19 minutes.
like, oh, actually, you've heard 17 different songs.
Well, I will be honest with you. I was trying to Google Synth Crush, and I somehow found Synth Wave.
You got synthwave music.
Yes,
And he fell in love with it.
I did. But everyone I know hates it.
No, I like synthwave music. It's good.
It's not that I hate it. I was like, I kept waiting for words.
Something. No.
And I kept waiting for the song to
No
change, and I
words.
got neither.
No words. Dude, it's only 17 minutes.
It's like that fucking song in the bar. Mega 80s. OAR, you motherfuckers.
Oh, shit.
I could have cut that. I would have cut that guy's toes off and fed him to him. If I would have caught that fucker that played that
Francisco
song.
says, that's a sober Travis. Can you imagine Travis on meth?
Oh.
No, God damn it.
You'll never see it, so don't worry.
Thank God.
Yeah. Never.
No, Travis and I know our personalities. I've said it before. I try heroin tomorrow. I'm dead next Wednesday.
Yeah. Can't do that.
I'm out. Like I have addicted personality.
No.
I heard a lot of crinkling, and I was wondering what was going on over there.
Oh, I'm playing with Buddy.
Steve's a...
I gotta have my hand. I always have been.
He's a fidgeter.
I fidget.
I wish I was sitting by you. You got to sit
I'm right fucking here, man.
His
I
arms
was a
are
chick-
short.
Yeah, that is
If I
true.
was a chick, my husband would be so happy.
He'd be the happiest dude
Jerking him
ever.
off. I'd be playing with that little guy all the time. Yep, I'd be fucking just. I gotta do something with my hands all the time.
Well, and it's instant gratification.
Yeah.
You touch it, it gets hard. Like, come on. How can
Yeah,
you-
yeah. You know it likes you.
Yeah.
Man.
I always say, okay, I will. A cat will sit on my lap. I will pet it for a long fucking time. It's soothing to me. But one time Heidi says, "How come you don't, like pet me like that?" And I'm like, "You don't respond like the cat does."
Yeah. Yeah. You pet a cat. What's it do? It lifts its ass up.
Yeah.
It's like, here you go.
Yeah.
Pet
Yeah.
your wife. She's like, oh God, that again.
Maybe your wife.
Pete's like, "You're not doing it right."
I know exactly how to get my kitty ready.
So, good for you. Well,
Kitty.
I don't have a woman with such low expectations.
She obviously has low standards, though.
And low self-esteem.
What would Charles do?
What would
Weird
Charles
man, he does everything right. If there's a neighbor not fucking treating his kid right, he goes over there, he slams that fucker up against the barn, makes him stare at his kid and grow a heart. Seen it a million times.
That easy.
There's this one episode
Oh,
where,
fucking heart now!
there's this one episode where this little girl has a leg that's shorter than the other, and so she limps all the time, and her dad won't let her play with other kids because he doesn't want other kids to tease her. So he's being protective, but Charles is like, fuck that. He goes out in the wood, out in the barn, builds her a shoe with a lift in it so that her fucking kid can run like the other kids. And then the fucking husband, the dad comes over. Laura has a birthday party. They're out playing baseball in the freaking thing. Dad comes over. He's like, you stay out of my fucking business, Charles Ingalls. If I'm about to, I don't want my daughter. She's going to get in. Charles like, fuck you. Throws him up against the barn, puts his freaking forearm up against his neck. And as the guy's up against the barn, he looks over and sees his daughter running bases. And he just fucking melts. Holy fuck. And he's like,
If Steven did that to a guy with his forearms, the guy's head would come off. Pop. Just gone.
another guy
Wouldn't even have a chance.
wouldn't let his kid play football because he was blind. Charles beat the fuck out of him till he fucking was like, oh, it's okay, he can play.
He could be the ball.
Charles always does the right shit. Went to the blind school, fucking
I
bitched
don't
him
know if
out.
the blind kid should be playing football.
He's bigger than everybody. He was this giant kid, but he was blind, right? And they're like, hey, if you just put your arms on these guys and run, you'll mow everybody over. It was fucking cool.
What's his little legs moving?
Yeah, you didn't feel your entire basement shake.
Got a hot ass wife. Carolyn was a fucking piece of ass.
Really?
Oh hell yeah. She comes in
With
so-
her dress down to her ankles?
Oh god, yes, hot.
Hairy
Man, leave a
armpits,
little bit
probably.
of something to the
Stinky.
mystery. I mean, think about it. Back then, you never saw hail damage. So when you get married and you lift up your wife's dress and you're like, "What's all this lumpy shit?" You're like, "I guess that's what all women look like," and you ain't turned off because you never seen anything else different. Like, this is hot. I like these dimples.
Oh, never mind. Yep.
It's awesome. That show is the fucking bomb.
Are you still watching it?
Oh yeah, we
she's,
watch it.
Look, she's ready for it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she comes in. She's like, "Charles,
That looks like someone's grandma.
Charles, lunch is ready." And he's like,
Last 5 months I've been banging a gilf. I recommend it.
That's
fucking
true.
smokes a pipe, plays the violin. He's a fucking, he can build shit, fix a wagon, no matter what you gotta do. Beat some ass, freaking hunt a kid down, go after freaking people that are killing wolves, saving Indians. He's fucking doing all this shit, and he's got fucking tight ass work gloves. He goes out, he looks fucking cool as shit. I wish I was Charles.
Steve.
Yeah,
Taylor Kitsch and Primeval versus Charles.
Charles win. Oh yeah, you know what he'd do to Taylor Kitsch? He'd throw him up against the wall, make him settle down with the woman. You're like, throw him up against the wall.
You see that woman over there?
He would realize
You
he
see that
loves her.
annoying bitch over there?
He would realize he loves her, and then he'd raise that kid, and then they would end the show. They're all in church on Sunday singing.
And you'd see Taylor look over at Charles. Charles would give him the nod.
Yep, he'd be singing, "Go tell it on the mountain that Jesus Christ." And then Charles looks over, and he looks over, and they nod at each other like. And then Charles smiles, and the fucking credits roll. Awesome.
Okay. All right.
So fucking awesome.
Oh my god.
Charles' kid got hooked on morphine. He was stealing it from the doctor. He fucking drugged that son of a bitch. Drug his own boy. Adopted boy. Drug him out into the fucking woods. Drug him out into the woods. Made him build a fucking cabin with him to dry him out. He's like, "Well, we're going to build a fucking cabin out here. And then once we get in that cabin, you're going to dry your ass out with your fucking drugs." So he locks him in the cabin. The kid has all these fucking nightmares. He's thrashing around in the middle of the dark. He's seeing bats that aren't there and shit. All of a sudden, he wakes up one morning. He's like, "Hey, fuck, I'm fine." And he's like, "All right, cured your drugs. Let's go home."
Go tell it on the mountain.
Okay. So I want everybody to know this. So if you jump on the old tube of you and you put in Charles, Little House on the Prairie, the first video that comes up is 2 minutes and 3 seconds, and it's called Pa Ingalls Punches Out Everyone in Walnut Grove. So it opens with them at the table saying a prayer before a meal.
This is what.
Wait for it.
Please, Jesus.
And then this guy here, he says,
With a chair. He's murdering that guy.
"Door down. Who's here? Oh no!
Oh yeah. Oh, they beat the shit out of. I remember that episode.
Oh, look at this. Of course. And it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
2 minutes of Pa Ingalls taking care of business.
Dude, man, Michael Landon could kick some ass. He didn't win against cancer, but fucking beat the shit out of everybody.
Wait, hold on. Knock, knock. Knock, knock. Who's there?
You know, that's his daughter's husband he just punched out.
Oh, he did it again. He got up. He
See, his daughter's. Yeah, and he's
his
got
arms in a
He's
sling.
got his arm in a sling. He still punched out his son-in-law. Manly. His name's Almanzo, but they call him Manly.
Drunk Gizmo says on the next episode of Potu, Charles beats the shit out of Skeletor after Skeletor belittles Beast
Charles
Man.
beat the shit out of Skeletor
I'm
any
gonna
day.
choking this guy out. He's squeezing him out. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Is he choking someone out, or is he?
Oh yeah, he was choking somebody out.
Okay, I don't know. It got him from that look. It looked like
Yep.
he might have been choking something.
I think that guy was stealing hay.
Hey, what are you saying to my wife? We're trying to have a nice dinner. Oh, no, I fucking threw the napkin. It's go time now.
She's like, I put on my
Let's
nice
take this
hat.
outside. We're gonna take this outside, you son of a bitch.
Oh, that's when Travis Charles, he takes a couple lumps too.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you see me and Charles?
No, not at all.
Never.
It sounded like a Freudian slip to me.
Not at all. No, you could never be Charles. Never. Charles has.
Shit.
Maverick says Steve complains about stretch marks, but probably has more than Courtney.
He doesn't have to look at him though.
I never complained about a stretch mark. I complained
Hail
about hail damage.
Steve O'Beg says Charles lets Helen Keller play piano.
He would. And if somebody wouldn't let her, he'd beat the fuck out of him. Like, let that blind bitch play.
Oh.
What do we got for? Is we do drama or news first? I don't ever remember anymore. Cody,
Stuff. Things.
Moving into toy drama. I actually have a little bit here. I don't know.
Does that have to do with Justice Curry losing his fucking Facebook page?
You know, I thought we could talk about it, but he got it back.
Did he get it back?
He cried online for 2 days minimum, and eventually got his Facebook back.
That's good.
So,
That's
what?
good.
Which Facebook did he lose?
I think his real
Yeah, his main.
Who did?
Justin.
Oh, I started watching his video, but he wouldn't get to the point, so I.
Where did you see his video?
which
If he
video?
got lost his Facebook.
Yeah.
He posted something on YouTube, and he was just talking about how he went back to, like, he was an alcoholic and Jesus, and I was like, oh, I've heard all this before. Get to what happened, and then I was like an hour later, and I was like, all right, I guess I just
Your podcast is 3 hours long, Steve. You can't fucking talk.
We only release one a week though.
I did get a post sent to me that was happening in the Cosmic Cabal.
Ooh.
And I know you guys discussed this on the last episode, but Brian Lynn sent me a post that it was Jeffrey McNaught. I have 4 of these left, $75 each or $250 for all, shipped in the United States. And it is the Cosmic Legion's LegionsCon exclusive Amazing Alien and Creature Creator set. Okay?
Yeah.
So, does anyone happen to recall what it cost at the show?
$100.
If I remember, it's $100.
And everybody went after this fucking guy, and he did nothing other than placate all of them and do the right thing, and they still went after him. It was 100% pure cabal. Well done, everybody.
So he was trying to help.
He's trying to sell figures.
The problem is, this literally just happened a week ago. You guys talked about the Omega Relics at that same box, I believe, for the same price, $75, which is $25 cheaper than what you would have bought it for.
Right.
And he has a very small amount of posts on there, so of course people are questioning things, and it did go down the road that Pete is describing. Like, people are like, this also looks like a repeat of what happened a week ago. And a lot of that kind of conversation was happening. Now, did you feel like anyone was like actually like rude to him?
I mean, I think there was enough people that posted against the guy and like telling other people what to do that I was like, it was maybe not overly rude, but incredibly unnecessary.
Yeah.
I mean, that very easily could have been solved. Every one of those messages could have been a PM to him to say, "Hey, man, I don't know if you saw the drama the other day."
Yeah. That's not how Facebook works.
That's not how Facebook works because we're all animals. And, the thing is, what gets me is, hey, man, there was a problem. You should probably post with this so we know it's real. Okay. And then he did that. And
Posted
then
a picture of
still
him with the toys.
And then people, well, you should do a video. Well, then he did that. But then people still wouldn't shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
It's like somebody said, hey guys, this might be a problem. We need to make sure it's good to protect somebody getting scammed. Okay, I get that.
Yep.
But when the guy fucking plays the game repeatedly, and then 2 hours later you still have to jump in and go, that could be a scam. Fucking walk into traffic, please.
Jeffrey, he commented, he goes, I can't keep up. This is the OP. He goes, I can't keep up with all the toxic comments. Sorry you guys got scammed previously. Had nothing to do with me. Sale is pending. When he receives them, I'll have him update you all that you missed out on a good deal.
That's
and I,
way.
and
That's,
I,
that's
and
what.
I liked that post.
That's what Charles would have done.
Would have punched him in
Around
the
all their
face.
houses.
Well, he would have punched somebody, but skipping the punching, he would still ended up in church playing, singing "Go Tell It on the Mountain."
So what's the easy way for this to go down? Like, there's a very simple way to make sure you're safe in this situation.
Goods and services.
Yeah, you just pay goods and services. Like, I mean, if you don't get the shit, you just cancel it, and the end. You know, like,
Ta-da.
yeah, you know, so as long as you're, like, obviously, I buy from you guys, friends and family, no problem. I buy from someone I know and trust, no problem.
When I did the pins, I gave everybody the option. Hey, I'll do friends and family. If you're not comfortable with that, goods and services, pay an extra $5 or whatever. Cover
Exactly.
the fees, right?
Yeah,
It's not
cover
a big
the
deal.
fees.
Right?
Yep.
Every single person that bought a pin set from me did friends and family except one.
Yeah.
Maverick.
He might be the smartest one.
I'm like, really? Of all the fucking people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Good services just in case. Okay.
There's not many people I would do goods and services. I mean, I'll just like 1/6 shooter. I would definitely do goods and services. Steve Obag, definitely. Manning or what's his name? Manning Searing,
Maynard.
Maynard Ketchen, Maynard. What's his name?
Maynard Searing, I believe.
Yeah, Maynard.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I will say it's scam season. It's very easy to scam people online. So just
Absolutely.
be smart and protect yourself.
And it happens everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, I think one of the most frustrating the clutter of what Facebook has become really is the
Yes.
hey, I have a question. You read a post, it's a 3-hour-old post that has 27 comments.
They don't read the comments.
And then you fucking still answer the goddamn question.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah, that is, and you're right. That is the thing that Facebook has become. People won't read those comments, so they don't realize it's been answered a million times already.
And like I said, but even within that post, like if somebody doesn't, I understand somebody not going back in a group that's 6,000 strong,
Yeah.
and trying to search. I have never had good luck searching in a Facebook group for a post. Like even when I've created, like there's no, I don't know if my algorithm's fucked or if I'm stupid. It's probably maybe a little bit of both, but it can kind of be a mess. So I get going, hey, if this has been answered before, I apologize, ask the question. But then as soon as somebody answers it, I can let it go.
Yeah.
Quit dragging the post back up to the top so you can
Everybody
say the
wants their
same
opinion
thing
to
that
be heard.
I don't fucking care about your opinion.
I will
They
say,
do.
and to give credit to Cullen.
Oh yeah,
he
asked
got in
and
there.
answered.
Yeah.
Curtis Ackerman does the same thing. Asked and answered. Commenting turned off.
Yes.
Appreciate that, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. And I will see. Of course, a week from now, someone might be like, "I got fucked by that guy."
I mean, it could
We'll
happen.
see.
Yeah, it
I
could
mean, we'll
happen.
see. Who knows? You know, you're buying things from people you don't know on the internet. There's a very good chance you might get something shoved in your ass. Like, just reality.
Rick Emmert dumped in and said, "Hey, the price wasn't close. The Omega Fraud was $75 for both 2-packs."
Oh shit!
So
That's
I mean,
ridiculous.
right?
That's absolutely ridiculous.
That changes everything.
Curtis Ackerman says everyone thinks they're an admin, or in my case, thinks they should be an admin. If you want, if you want problems fixed, I mean, there'll be 9 people left in the group,
I don't want to be an admin.
but
It's hard enough being an admin of our own shit.
I'm
I had-
I'm an
when I-
admin at work and I hate it.
when I wrote
worst job ever.
when I had to write the rules and the questions for the Adventures of Pocket Glyos, was like, hey, are you good with not being a dick? Okay, hey, rule. This is the rule. Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Post your pictures and have fun. I have not had one issue in there. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not 6,000 strong. It's a whopping 135 strong.
It does. It
You know
changes
what I mean?
as you get deep. Yeah.
But it's,
Yeah, I mean,
you know,
It changed me. I got like 8,000 people in the Ninja Turtle group, and all of a sudden I couldn't handle fucking happy face emojis anymore.
Yeah.
So, laugh emojis.
Fuckers.
Can't handle.
Still have fucking nightmares.
It's my favorite emoji.
it's
You
my
know-
favorite emoji.
When used correctly,
I hate
it's
emojis.
wonderful.
True.
Yeah,
Like
but
a penis.
but when I use it to hurt people, therefore it is being used correctly.
Men shouldn't be able to use emojis. Fucking we're too emotional already over the years. We get too fucking. We're too. Just like let women use their emotions. We just fucking say your shit. Use your
logic.
words.
Alex.
Use your words and please use as few as possible.
Well,
Coming from you.
Was there any other toy drama?
Well, you gotta provide.
You gotta describe it.
You gotta provide the important information. You gotta,
Steven, can I? This is not toy drama, but this is drama that I think is kind of is in your wheelhouse, and I would like to know what your thought is. So, Friday night, my daughter and I went to the Princess Ball at the school.
saw the pictures of you in your pink vest.
Yep.
I looked down on you for that.
That happens. So somebody posted in one of the school groups on Facebook, hey, I heard that there's a mother-son event this weekend on Saturday. Is that true? And I said, so I responded with, I do not believe there's any event going on Saturday night because that's the night of the fundraiser for Viking Athletics. So a school wouldn't double book themselves because they don't want to split, right?
Right.
I said on Friday night, the Princess Ball is occurring. That's formally known as the Daddy-Daughter Dance. That was my response. Okay. Somebody immediately jumped in and responded to me and said, well, they changed it to the Princess Ball from the Daddy-Daughter Dance because not every little girl has a male role model that can take them, so they made it inclusive.
And you never
and
said
I was
anything
like,
the
I never
opposite.
said anything like that.
Yeah.
Okay. I was simply explaining. Now the OP in that is a friend of mine. Her and her husband are friends of mine, right? So I typed a response and then I didn't end up actually posting it because I was like, I'm just going to let it simmer because she's kind of trying to push it this direction and it's not, and it wasn't my intent. So, but that's a real thing, right? We can't call it the Daddy-Daughter Dance anymore because there are little girls that don't have a dad to bring them. Now, those little girls deserve to enjoy this event as well. I am totally 100% okay with inclusion, okay? Mm-hmm. But what my point is that when you guys do the mother-son Nerf thing, you're going to be upset and we're going to hear about it if there's dads showing up with their sons to the Nerf event.
Right.
I have no problem that moms come to what was the Daddy-Daughter Dance and making it an event, but if you're going to be inclusive, you sure as hell had better make it inclusive. So I am reserving my bullshit until somebody tries to fight the mother-son thing. Because, okay, make it the Princess Ball or whatever, that's fine. Make it a parent-child dance. I don't give two shits what you call it. Mm-hmm. Every kid deserves a chance to participate. But these are the same people that are going to want it the other way, and that is what's going to fucking spin me up. Well, no, it's not. It's just for mothers and sons. Well, what about the sons that don't have mothers? Well, that doesn't happen. Really, it doesn't.
Right.
And they make it about these poor girls that had shitty dads that walked out on them or left or whatever. But every child deserves a chance to participate, but they want to gatekeep the other one, but they want to be included in this one. And that's what fucking irritates me.
Every child does want to participate. And in a realistic world, in a happy world, every child could participate.
Right.
The fact of the matter is, it's not the school or the person who named it the Daddy-Daughter Dance that is stopping them from participating. It's the fact that your mother probably settled down with a loser. She chose some asshole, or she went out to a bar one night and got knocked up by some guy who wasn't going to stick around, or just ignored all the warning signs when this guy was a raging alcoholic and beat the shit out of a guy in a bar just for looking at him wrong and is weirdly jealous or maybe on drugs and everything. And she continued to open her legs and let him inseminate her with you. You need to this child needs to be educated that it's not her fault. It's not the child's fault. It's her mother's fault. All right.
You know who else's fault it's not? It's not my daughter's fault.
It's not your daughter's fault.
We're changing this now. I sympathize with your situation, but why are we changing my daughter's experience because I chose a different path?
Well, here's the deal too. There are more children that are being raised with mothers than there's a lot more kids without a father.
Oh, absolutely.
Than there
Hands
are
down.
kids without a mother.
Hands down.
That's fair.
And I think that I think it's great to
moms aren't stupid enough to run or aren't smart enough to run, I guess is how it should be.
Well, they want that. They want that. You know, they want that check too. You know?
Curtis says, "What if the dad died, Stephen?"
If the dad died, then you know what?
Here so here's my opinion.
I'm gonna
Right?
let Pete put his opinion.
I'll give you guys a quick example, right? I would like to think, my rose-colored view of this world, I would like to think that if there's a situation in which a little girl doesn't have a dad for whatever reason, that there is a positive male role model in her
going there.
life
That's
that
where I was
could
going.
step in, right?
Again, it's the mother's fault.
I will
What?
give you,
She got a shitty dad too. Did she leave her parents because she had to get
an
all
uncle?
tattooed up and do drugs? And now she's not on talking terms with them? And now she don't have grandpa to step in, or an uncle, or a brother, or every man in your life stays the fuck away from you? You're a real piece of work, lady.
this
The
very
dad
well
and the grandpa died in the same car accident.
this very well could be
Just
my
keep getting-
last. This could very well be my last daddy-daughter dance, right? My daughter's 10. She's right on the cusp of whether or not, I think, based on what I know of her, I probably have at least one more year left. But when she goes into junior high and they have like regular dances, I probably won't do this anymore. So on the off chance that this was my last one, did it upright. We always do corsage and boutonnieres. That's the thing. That's one of my wife's things. A matching outfit. I mean, shoes, vest, tie, the whole shoot and match. Got my brother's party bus, and there was 6 dads and I think 9 daughters. And my wife drove the party bus, and we rolled and we all went to dinner together, and we had a great time. I wanted to do it upright, just in case it's my last one, right? Couple of days beforehand, one of the other dads shoots me a message. He is a corrections officer here in Muskegon. And he says, "Hey man," he said, "my team is being deployed to the UP. They had a problem in a prison up there, and he is a team leader for basically an ESU team, right? They had a problem going on up there. Not necessarily a riot, but some things going down where they called in extra help." He said, he said, "My daughter is obviously looking forward to this." I said, "Dude, say no more. Go with us. We've got it. The dads that are there will make sure that she has the best time." And that was something that was a no-brainer for us, right? Because that's the people I travel with, you know? And in those circumstances, like, hey, this happened, dad got called away for work, we're still going to make this experience, to the point of where I printed out his face to put on a stick so we could still do photos together, because his sense of humor, he would have thought that was hilarious, right? Granted, he ended up getting back in time, no big deal, no muss, no fuss. But I would like to think that there's always somebody that can step in and fill that gap to make sure the child gets that experience that they want. And it's a little bit heartbreaking to me in the grand scheme of things that there are kids out there that don't have anybody that can step up and be that guy.
Yeah.
You know? So maybe that's the point. I just, with your opinion on how we change things and whatnot, Steve, I thought you'd have something to say.
Definitely go both ways if they're going to change it.
Amen to that.
But
Welcome back, Trav.
Yeah, we're still talking about dances.
I was listening.
But
I heard Steve talk about insemination.
Yeah.
Got a little chubby.
We had to take care of business real quick.
at any rate, it was fun. We had a good time. So, yeah.
Look
deal.
cute.
Thanks. Oh, you talking about me or Piper?
Both.
Yeah, I know. I look good.
Killed it.
Pink's my color.
Any other toy drama?
Don't think so.
I couldn't find it. I thought I screenshotted one, but that might have been last week.
Whoa.
well, we're moving on then to toy news.
Toy news.
Toy news.
Yeah.
Already?
Alrighty.
That bitch.
There's already a meme.
Who is that?
Who is that?
Francisco.
Francisco?
Yeah.
Oh,
Van loses control, gets that bitch straight with a left hook. Got Steve's face on old Charles.
And it looks really good.
It looks really good.
it needs to be shrink my head down just a little.
Nah, that's the
No,
right size.
That's accurate.
It needs to be bigger to cover the curls. So good.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, shoot.
Toys, toys, toys. Here we go. Lots of Joe. I don't know shit about any of these, so I'm going to have somebody who knows.
This right here tickles my fancy a little bit.
It's gonna be fun to talk about.
It looks like the vehicle, the mech and metal storm.
RoboForce.
That old NES game.
Well, this is based on the old Snake armor. It is the Snake armor, I believe. It's the newest. It's the new iteration of it. It doesn't look like you can put a figure in it.
Oh, really?
Well, look how it's built. Where are you gonna put the figure?
Oh, that's true.
Look how the
Right.
legs and the
Yeah,
hips are
Yep,
and the-
I got you now. Totally agree.
So it doesn't. The old gimmick was you
That's
could
kind of a bummer.
put a figure in it.
Lame.
I never did it though.
I did. Loved it.
I would imagine Steve put more than a figure in it, but that's.
You know what? Now thinking back on it, I don't think I had. I don't think I had this as a kid. I think this was a later in life kind of thing, when I really wasn't playing with them anymore. It was more set them on a shelf.
It actually would fall apart without a figure in it, so they supplied you with a little rubber thing that
Yeah.
you would actually mimic the legs to hold it together in the original. They got the whole upper head, the mask, and that kind of is definitely reminiscent of the original. But the shape of it is just, it's off for me.
It's not what it was. That's for sure.
And not quite.
But is that because was that vintage shape? Was that because it needed to hold a figure?
I think it was.
Okay.
I think it was.
What's the name of this thing?
Ooh.
Snake.
But you could. But what you
Snake?
could.
Yeah, like
do
it's
is
an
like-
acronym.
You remember? So didn't if I'm not mistaken, didn't the Hulkbuster come like with a torso?
It did.
So I mean, they could do something like that with this, or even just a head that you could put in there to give it that
possible.
aesthetic. You know.
Possible.
Well, Brian Brink weighs in and he says, I think a figure is going to sit in at like a Star Wars ATST. It'd have to be pretty big to make
Yeah,
that
this is going to have to
happen.
be way bigger than the size difference. The size difference between a 6-inch figure and this would have to be much larger than it was in the original.
The ATST, so that would be like sitting in a cockpit in the head,
Yeah, the
right?
two legs.
Versus
Yeah.
So this thing would have to be giant. When
for a 6-inch figure, hell yeah.
Yeah, when the
It'd have to be
actual-
giant for a 3 3/4 inch figure.
see, it was called the Snake armor.
Yeah.
It was armor.
Battle armor.
That,
Right.
Yeah. So, this just looks like a pretty different take on it. I'm not saying I hate it.
Can we also can we say these are? I mean, it says it. They're renders. There could be some things that change.
Vintage.
I doubt it. But this might not be what it
that's
ends up
a-
looking like.
That digital that's the little disclaimer of, well, in the picture it was eggshell. This is off white.
Usually,
and I'm upset.
yes. Usually
you know what I
that
mean?
is
I doubt they're going to re-engineer those hips to make
No.
a figure fit in there. And
No.
But if it came with just the top half of a figure that you could put in,
It would be-
that'd be kind of neat.
It'd be
you
kind
know?
of cool, I guess. It still would look weird because I would imagine where his legs go, and
Right.
it wouldn't fit there because there's no the way those hips and the way the torso is joined. There's no way legs
So,
could pass through.
so on
that.
this vintage one, those legs just kind of clamp around actual legs.
They're each leg is two pieces,
Uh-huh.
so you would
So
put them.
front and
Yep,
back or
yep,
whatever?
yep, and then his arms weren't in the arms. His arms were in the torso.
Okay.
I understand how you feel about that, Steve, but isn't this a lot cooler looking?
It's an update.
Yeah.
Okay,
Right.
it's an update, and yes,
There's
Super
a
chat.
There's a trade-off in that though, right? Hey, we understand this is the sacrifice that we're going to get. Maybe the figure can't go in, but it is cooler. It's updated. It's scaled. It's,
maybe way more posable. Probably
you
has,
wouldn't
you know,
see the
the-
figure inside it anyway.
right.
Brian Brink says that long flame effect shown in the pic looks just over 3 inches. You can use that for scale.
And Curtis paid us money for us to say.
Yeah,
Just
and I
wanna
was
say
trying to
that-
talk over it because it's Curtis.
Just
And
want
you-
to say that I
you know.
can't wait to see you all at MesquiCon. Love you guys.
we can't wait to go to MesquiCon too and see you there too, Curtis.
It's gonna be
I
fun.
can't wait for MesquiCon to be over.
Oh my god!
You guys know how much I love it, but you guys have. You're the
it's-
only ones that have seen me every year,
It's
and
much
you know what
different
I
for
go
you.
through.
It's much different for
So-
you than it is for us.
Right. But the mythical meetup and the dinner afterward, like you guys do make it very, very nice for me, which I appreciate. But yes, we do love you too, Curtis.
It's gonna be fun. We got the Awe Striker, right? Is that
Yes, sir.
correct? Yep. And is that Clutch? No.
No,
Who is
I can't
that?
remember his name. Shit,
We're gonna need some help.
Who drove the Awe Striker,
you
guys?
made me black out.
I'm,
Or blank out.
Wealthy
Not
Nate
blank.
says that's from the both of us. You cheap bitch.
I can't wait to see Nate. God damn. MesquiCon's gonna be great.
Dude, being able to have lunch with him last weekend or 2 weekends ago, whenever
Oh,
it was, that
super
was
cool.
awesome.
Well, yeah, because
Take
you
advantage
got
of it,
Holly
you know?
too. So.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was.
I mean,
the-
Nate's great,
right.
but So speaking of, it seems like not all the Mythic Enablers are going to be there, but
Some of them.
some of them. Man, I am
I
excited.
know that Wyatt's coming
So is
excited.
Noah.
and Noah's coming.
Get off your ass, Joe. What the fuck?
Yeah, Joe.
Let's go. We
Joe?
gotta recreate Steve doing push-ups with you on his back.
Did go back to the Ostriker, will you please?
Crankcase,
Crankcase.
says Joe Crazy Bill.
Yeah. Joe sent me this yesterday, by the way. Joe was like, hey, because he knows,
Does it
us.
not look as
Chris Kelly hit me up on a bunch of stuff too.
does it look
Thank you, guys.
does it not look as cool as the original one for some reason? Does it look
I feel like-
boxier or something?
Well, it's different. It's got that updated seat in the back.
There's a gunner seat.
Yep.
The first thing I think when I look at this, I don't like the difference in tire size front to back. I feel like that front tire should be a little bit bigger. They need to be different sizes, dune buggy style, but I feel like that front tire is too small.
Maybe it is.
I think it looks awesome.
Okay.
I'm not going to buy it.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
I'm not buying it, though.
I think I think that I got the vintage armor when I was into vintage Joe's. I loved that thing. But
cool.
I probably won't get this.
I'll buy the armor, but I'm not buying. I'm just not buying the good vehicles at this point based on space. But I think it looks awesome. Not a fan, Steve?
I don't know. I'm gonna have to. Maybe I'll change my mind when I get it in person.
Yeah.
Do you think that maybe the angle of the shot is giving you an optical illusion that makes you
why
look
does
I think it's
aesthetically
just
different?
so different from this.
The
look at
original,
vintage
the tire. Actually, Pete's right. The front tire looks like the same size as
It
the
is.
back tire.
They are the same.
It looks more creepy, crawly, dune buggy, more like capable. That other thing looks like it would be cumbersome.
It's more like the RC car in Toy Story.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. I think I like the original aesthetic better.
Hey, I know we're talking about toys, but can we comment on Cody's facial hair?
Yeah, it's good.
What
look.
about it?
God, don't that look good?
You were blessed.
I love the gray at the temples. He looks very
Yeah, I have a
distinguished.
lot of gray.
I'm a huge fan of gray, to be honest. I like
too.
gray. I like gray in women.
Yeah.
I like gray in dudes. Like I think gray looks good.
We can move on.
Cody, come stand in front of the camera with your pants off.
Show it off.
Yeah. I think it's
What what's the price point on the Ostriker? Anybody know?
I don't
I don't think they've
said
told us
that.
yet.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nope.
This set.
Oh, Francisco is curious: is which one's better, that one or the $200 Gridiron Studios one?
We would have.
That one. We have pictures of that coming up.
Okay,
Too.
you do.
Okay.
Alright, good.
We'll wait till we get there. This is Dyson Slice, right?
Yes.
Slice and dice. Nobody ever would say dice and slice.
I'm with you, Peter.
No,
Peter,
no.
I'm with you on this one.
Slice and dice. Slice and dice.
I think this is neat, but this is something I could pass on.
Well,
Man, you could buy this and get the whole caboodle and kit. No. It's kit and caboodle, you fucking moron.
I believe Dice is on the left and Slice is on the right, so I said Dice and Slice.
dice and slice.
Nobody says that.
You
These two knives, they dice, they slice. No, they slice, they dice.
read from left to right, so it's Dice and Slice.
No, you don't. In Japanese manga, which these are ninjas from Asia, you go from right to left.
sold in America on a previously branded toy line called a Real American Hero that they can't say anymore.
What kind of dip is that?
It's a blue
cheese.
cheese.
Oh, well, that's no thank you then.
You know, I'm not a huge blue cheese guy either, but I did
like
like
it.
that dip. Yeah.
Let's go to.
Probably a Valiant Night.
Probably
We're
something
gonna,
important.
you know what? We're gonna get into that conversation.
So I closed my eyes for a second, and I thought you said, what's your go-to? And he's like, Valiant Night. I'm like, what kind of dip is that? And then I opened my eyes and saw that you had a part.
Steve
That Valiant
O'Beck.
Night dip is
Steve
wonderful.
O'Beck.
It's cheese
What do
blue.
you say?
Steve O'Beck. It's cheese blue. I love that little fucker.
Not funny.
That's why Steve O's one of my favorites.
That's why he's a goods and service pie.
Steve-O's
isn't good.
gonna show his face later in this podcast, by the way. All right. So
Oh, Curtis Ackerman super chat. Stop everything.
Ackerman Curtis.
When Travis says he likes gray in women, he's referring to aliens.
Oh.
oh,
Yeah, you.
I
Totally
thought he was
bang an alien.
referring. I thought he was referring to
Bang,
necrophilia.
Banglian. Damn it! It didn't work.
it's happening.
This is a much better Flint than the original release.
So this is
Why?
probably a retro card.
Yeah,
Okay.
it just looks cool. I never liked
Because it looks exactly like the 80.
What's the, well, I guess I don't remember what the other
I didn't
Flint
like
looked
the boots on the other one. They just looked weird it was they used those boots that they made for like Starship Trooper characters when they first came out, and the other one I think has a vest. This is just more stripped down. It's more classic, obviously, and I guess it hits me more in the feels. So that's what this would be. Once this comes out, I'll probably take that other Duke and throw it in the trash. I don't know.
What about the other Flint?
I'm sorry, the other Flint.
Is this the other Flint?
Yeah. It's still good.
But the face sculpt's kind of got a weird look
Yeah,
to
he
it a
looks
little
kind of
bit.
douchey.
Yeah.
And
it-
Flint was never douchey, in my opinion. Falcon, douche. Flint, badass.
Falcon was a total douche.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was. Yeah. Falcon was a total.
I
douche.
do think this looks good. I think the retro cards is genius, and I think Hasbro's like, we're gonna put out this version, and all these dumb fucks are gonna buy it, and then we're gonna put out the one they really want because they can't get out of the nostalgia aspect of it.
You know these Joe guys? They're almost as dumb as Mo2 guys. Hey, can
God
somebody
damn it.
can somebody give Flint a candy cane M16 for Christmas? Can we do that? Sweet.
I like the pointed finger. I like leader when they do leadership guys, because Flint was always basically in third position. You know, it was Hawk, then it was Duke, then it was Flint, and then I think it's Beachhead.
Duke.
According to one of the cartoons.
So far for me, Slice and Dice is still the win.
Really?
Yeah.
And that's the one I can live without.
Yeah, which I get. If you're not a ninja, if you didn't like ninjas, I totally get that.
I like the ninjas. I don't like when they went ninja oversaturation.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah, all of a sudden I'm like, oh, yeah.
Well, this is the hot version of
CoverGirl?
CoverGirl.
I like
So-
that big old braid with the trucker cap. Like she's gonna do something inappropriate in the back seat of a Awe Striker. You know
The
what I mean?
hot version just happened in Jeremy's pants.
At least lukewarm.
It loosens some shit
Okay,
up.
how come whenever something sexy comes on the screen, Jeremy immediately farts?
My body just loosens up.
Because every time he gets a boner, it's blood here. He loses sphincter
yeah,
control.
when it comes out this way,
Yep.
it's like,
Yeah.
Those fucking hush
So-
puppies.
I like
Somebody earlier in the post said not so hush puppies. So I don't remember who, but it was funny.
can you guys hear it? That's awesome. I hope so.
I'm gonna pose her with the hair down and a pistol, and the manly weapons go to Clutch.
Is that CoverGirl or maybe it's Maybelline?
That's CoverGirl.
Oh, she's my cover girl.
It will be fun to see what the toys actually look like facial wise compared to these renders.
Oh yeah, Trev's gonna give that a facial.
It's a pretty hot figure.
I like this. This is great because
Is this like just a Cobra Trooper?
no, that is not a Cobra. That's a Televiper.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for trying to be part of the
which-
conversation. My
which-
bad.
which
I'll just
is-
go to the bathroom.
Which until now was only available when you bought a Trouble Bubble. So this is
That's
a
fun
way
to
for
say, a
people.
bubble trouble.
If people want to army build all of the Televipers,
CoverGirl's got a hell of a trouble bubble.
this is your chance. So I like that a lot.
You know, while I've said I'm just buying the bad guys, I will pass on this guy.
You don't like the Televiper?
You know what? Televipers never really. I don't get me wrong. I understand the purpose. I totally get it. You know, the huge part of the cartoon. He doesn't do anything for me.
Courtney, I was hoping you were listening.
What'd she say?
I sang some New Kids on the Block.
Oh,
And she said, Jeremy sang exactly what I was thinking.
Breaker. This has got to be Breaker, and I'm confused at what this is
Why he's got a loaf of bread with him?
Why is he popping gum?
because he always blew bubbles in the comic. He was always chewing gum.
With
was
a
the thing.
mustache and beard like that?
Yeah.
It's gonna
So we got
recipe for a mess right there.
we got Breaker with the. This is not a vintage version of Breaker, and we got a very similar version. I think with a different head sculpt, though possibly. I'm not positive. That came with the Ram, the motorcycle. Now I like his backpack is way more vintage. It has that look to it than what he came with, I believe, with the Ram cycle. But I'm not sure what this is trying to be. Someone's going to have to help me out.
Well, so Joe Crazy jumps in, and obviously we should have got this from the mass
The
device
mass device?
thing in the thing on the right there, that weird looking thing, that's going to be a piece for the.
Yup,
Yeah.
there was some sand, I believe, that was part
Yeah.
of the things. I get that, but it doesn't. But that's a cartoon, and this doesn't look like a cartoon version of
I get
him.
what you're saying.
And this doesn't look like a vintage version. It looks more similar to the version we already got. So I'm trying, with some extra parts. So I don't know if it's their way of getting this figure in there where you don't have to buy the motorcycle,
Right, probably.
And then they're
Same-
going to give
same
us a
thing with the
vintage
Televiper.
breaker 2 down the road. So we're going to have 3 breakers.
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
So it's an odd
Breaker
flex.
Baker 1.
But I will say
3.
from a military like standpoint of having like guys in your background, or that is a cool looking figure.
I like the figure, and I do like the
Bless
bubble
you.
blowing.
Thank you.
Get a bunch of them. Just
Is that a thing from the
blowing
cartoon?
That's a
bubble
thing
gum.
from the comics.
Comics?
Yeah.
That he was a gum chewer?
Yes.
I think that's a fun
In
nod.
fact, even when they did the G.I. Joe movie, the guy was always blowing bubbles. The guy that played him looked nothing like Breaker.
Oh, Channing Tatum.
Not Channing Tatum.
Oh, and now Jeremy's asshole's loose again.
No.
I brought up Channing Tatum.
Oh.
It will be.
It's coming.
Yeah, he's not as hot as he used to be.
Now
Doing it
this,
for you.
another...
You looked a little thick as Gambit.
See, this is the weird part. This is also branded with the mass device.
Okay, that's
But
odd.
these look just like the cartoon guys when they're swimming trying to find the heavy water
Yeah.
in the cartoon, which Breaker does not look like he looked in the cartoon. So,
It's kind of weird.
yeah, the Cobras, I think, the Cobras were wearing those red things, and then there was a bunch of Joes wearing the and then they had to team up to fight the Worms of Death or something. And then, of course, Baroness, she double-crossed the Joes and blah, blah, blah. And I think they both ended up with a heavy water.
I think these are awesome.
They look
Because
great.
I loved, was it Torpedo?
Torpedo.
I love that aesthetic and all the cool breathing apparatus and cool shit. I think that these are pretty rad. Is this a 2-pack?
Yeah.
I'm guessing.
Okay.
I know that I love the Cobra Eel, and it wasn't until like the 25th stuff that I got a guy that looked like that on the right, and they just came with so much stuff that looked cool that it made you want to like kind of create like a water scene, like to the point where
Yeah.
I'm like, should I get an aquarium?
I did the exact same thing.
That's really
Well, we
cool.
could-
How
man.
cool would that
You
be?
can run a couple and you can hang fish wire so it looks like they're in varying levels. Oh, yeah.
See, like I always thought, like at some point you get enough like snow guys.
Yeah.
We'll get Frostbite. We'll get Iceberg. We already got Snow Job. We'll
Yep.
get the guy that drove the vehicle. I can't think of his name.
Token white guy.
No, he drove. I don't know. It doesn't matter.
Frostbite.
That used to be me.
I already said Frostbite.
Dang it.
White guy.
But we'll get enough snow guys, and then if you have enough, what's the bad guy snow guys? The Viper.
Oh
guy.
yeah, Snow Viper, Ice Viper. I mean, all kinds of vipers.
Guess I'm just stuck here.
Anyway,
Yeah. Anyway,
Words and stuff.
Snow Serpent.
Snow Job.
That's what I'm thinking of. Snow
Did you
Serpent.
say Rem Job?
That would be Travis's
Frosted
G.I.
Rim.
Joe name. Rim Job.
We got invited to go.
Job rim.
We got invited to go to dinner with a friend recently, and she's like, "Hey, I'm gonna make you guys supper. Do you have any things that?" I'm like, "Well, it just depends on what you're making." Just kind of giving her some shit, and then I pretty much had to say, like, "Listen, I would eat anything out of your asshole. Like, I will eat anything. It does not matter." So
What if it sounded like this?
I might pass.
As soon as you said rim job, boner.
Here it came.
There it is. Unpredictable.
Yep. All right. Oh.
Darklon.
Who?
This is Destro's cousin, I believe.
Love this when I was younger.
Darklon came with a vehicle. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a little motorcycle sit-in thing with a whatever on it.
That's pretty cool.
This is kind of a fun figure.
It is, and
Love
I
that
never.
helmet. That helmet's very
Love the helmet.
very help me out, Trav. Big Bad Toy Store, Monster Hunters.
Oh yeah.
I can see
I
that.
gotcha. Yeah, for sure. I can see that for sure. So what's crazy is this is a very good homage to the original. Now as an adult, I'm like, I hate the colors. Like, I wish they would have cleaned this up a little bit to maybe not have so many different colors on them.
I say the top and the bottom look like different figures.
Yeah. I loved him as a when
As
I
a
was younger.
kid, I really thought it was cool.
Well-
And I wish I would have read comics as a kid because he had a big presence in the comics.
I'm sure. And he was one of Destro's. He was Iron
was his
Grenadiers,
cousin.
right? Yeah. Oh, cousin. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I will say that aesthetically, I feel like those ankles are too skinny for this figure. That's the first thing that my eyes go to, and I go, that kind of looks like they
It
should
doesn't
be
help that
thicker.
he's got like the thing around his calf there. Too.
Right, which,
Make
you
that
know,
big.
yeah, kind of gives it that bulbous, you know.
Well, what
I'm
was
assuming
weird?
those are grenades for, is that a grenade launcher? Is that what he has?
Yeah.
Okay.
What was weird was there was
Or a
there was
launcher
certain
grenade?
action figures, and especially G.I. Joe, when you're talking
action.
about the same use of parts, right? I always felt like that dude was bigger. Like if
Might have been.
the toy just felt when you would stand him next to another
He
figure.
may have been. Destro was.
Was he?
The original 3 3/4 Destro was bigger than all
He
the other
was bigger.
ones.
Okay, and I always just kind of had this like this was just this big dude. You know,
Is this figure, is this character prominently in the Toon Car or the book comic? Which one is he from?
What are we laughing at? Was there a fart?
Dice and slice, baby.
I don't understand.
Dyson Slice was backwards, so I made cartoon backwards and I made comic book backwards.
Toon
Book
Car,
comic
I
and Toon
didn't know
Car.
what you were I didn't even get it.
he definitely was comic book.
Comic book,
Definitely
okay.
comic book. Yeah.
Never.
But I do see you guys saying the aesthetic. It looks like somebody posted an action figure identification. Hey, got this in a Joe lot. Who is it? And somebody goes, it's so and so's top half with so and so's legs.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
It's a mashup or a custom or whatever.
You buying this, Steve?
I don't know.
Ain't that? It's kind of weird because I loved, and a lot of it had to do with the helmet. He had it didn't quite look like this. It was a cool helmet though.
Very
It-
Iron Grenadier style.
Yeah,
like you
like
guys mentioned, right?
it just. I loved him when I was younger. Now I look at this figure and I go, man, I wish they would have done something
Maybe
different.
you know, I haven't been motivated to pick up the Iron Grenadiers yet. I haven't got the Iron Grenadier, and I haven't even gotten Metalhead.
I have not. Well, I bought.
You have Metalhead.
I haven't displayed him though.
But I think that once I get gold-headed Destro with his despoiler, that might change
Yeah, and I
my
understand that
want
too.
for that stuff. So
What did Francis? It's not appearing on my shit.
It's up there. It says, I'll eat anything out of your asshole. Words DeWitt will never hear. But it's not on my chat.
Yeah, it
it's
must
not
have
on my chat either.
must have got pulled.
Yeah, because it has asshole in it, so they pulled the plug on it.
It's a great
sure.
word. Why would they?
Yeah.
Now, can you skip to the end?
Can you skip to the loo, my darling?
Maverick, you're
Little
closer
skip.
than you may have.
No, like to the very
You may
end. That way
think.
we can get to the
You want to do the Ostriker is what you're saying.
Yeah.
The other vehicle.
Yeah, I want to see this because I don't. There we go.
Oh.
That is
Yeah, I like that
cooler
better.
looking.
Oh.
I like it better.
That
This is apparently where some drama has come about.
Oh.
Just
But it's how much?
They in the chat they said $200.
Oh.
But I have no reason to believe that's not.
Well, it
honest,
says
but
they're still keeping it American-made product under $200. So
okay.
probably $199.
right, 99.
That looks cool as fuck.
That's way cooler. Way cooler. Now that thing looks like it could rip through some dunes or something.
But that's
also.
But if you look at you look at the aesthetic of this, I know for a fact the first thing you notice is you're like, okay, those look like Mickey Thompson Baja Claude tread petters
With
Those are
beadlocks.
beadlocks on the rims. Like
Yeah.
those are stuff that wheelers would notice. And when you talk about the aesthetic, this, like you said, this is low. This is low to the ground. This is getting fucking after it.
Yeah.
Big suspension travel.
Tires are
and-
the same size.
yeah.
yeah, this is way cooler aesthetically. I don't know if it's worth the money, but we'll have to find out what the money is. But
How much of the gridiron stuff have you bought, Steve?
just the I've only gotten
The howitzer thing?
the howitzer,
Okay.
and it's good quality. The one thing I noticed that I'd like to know how they engineered this is the howitzer's wheels. I don't know if it has something to do with it being 3D printed or something, but I noticed that my howitzer's wheels look like they're sagging a little.
Okay.
Can't like they're canted in.
Yeah, and
The weight of it.
Yeah, which doesn't
Yeah.
look right. It could look like that could look right on a few different vehicles, but it doesn't look right on a howitzer.
But would the howitzer? That's a big gun, right?
Yeah, you just tow it around.
Right. Would it? Does it have like arms that you would put down? Would that take the sag out of it?
I do have the arms down.
Right.
That's how it's set up on my shelf.
It really does. He's right. It looks like RC. Cody, you can't ever leave this show. I mean, I know you hate us.
I know.
and
Yeah,
it,
he's
but
talking about resigning and everything.
No, he loves it. Dude, we have the best talks here on the way here. Me and Cody really.
I don't want to die. I don't
He's
want to die. I
got
don't
great
want to die.
ideas for the show, and we just keep telling him to fuck off.
That fucking heavy metal hand's cool as shit.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I would not. If anyone was like, "No, I'm buying this," I would be like, "Yeah, totally get it." Although the Ostriker will probably be $80.
See, if that was okay, so if the Ostriker was 80
Yep.
and this is 150, this
What if it's 200?
then it gets difficult because it's getting so expensive, and it's like maybe I just don't need one on my shelf at all.
Get both.
And Joe makes a great point, which of course, lower production run equals more money. Yeah, without a
Of
doubt.
course, and I don't know if this is injection molded stuff or if it's
Right.
all 3D printed. I believe that my howitzer is all 3D printed.
Yeah. I don't know. It'd be fun to have to make that choice, though.
It's cool that you have the option.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You know
But
what I mean?
one thing too about it is I like
Mm-hmm.
the crankcase figure.
Right.
So
And you only get that crankcase figure with the Ostriker?
I'm guessing.
At least for now.
Moving on. NECA Hammer Films. Horror of Dracula, 1958. You get the Van Helsing picture. And unfortunately, we don't have pictures of it yet, but they've been announcing the TMNT Shredder as Dracula. The movie version. So I can't wait for that one, actually. Also a Beetlejuice 7-inch striped suit figure, but once again, don't have pictures. And a Jaws 7-inch Ultimate Matt Hooper 50th anniversary figure.
Did you see that there was a horror show this weekend somewhere in Michigan?
Yeah, like as Gavin and Deanna were
They're posting pictures.
posting pictures, I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that exists.
That would have been fun.
Yeah. I didn't even know
Which
there was
one
the
wa-
Byron Center show.
Yeah, I know. I
I
totally blanked on that
Totally,
one.
it's like I would have gone
I
to
don't
one of
actually
those.
know where the horror fest was, but it's in Michigan somewhere, and they were set up for 2 days. And they've told me
Was it the Astronomicon one or is this
no,
different?
it's a different one. They've said it's a great show.
Were they set up selling or were they going as
Selling.
buyers selling?
Selling. I mean, I'm
Sucks,
sure
Laura
they're
would
sure they're
have
buying too, but
Had no idea. We didn't do shit.
yeah.
Well, that looks good.
Yeah,
What is it?
Van Helsing.
That's Van Helsing from the Hammer production,
Oh, I thought we didn't have pictures. That's why.
That's the only picture that they gave.
Okay.
which is also Grand Moff Tarkin, of course.
Oh shit, we're talking about a movie that came out.
Yes.
58, I think it said.
Wow. Yeah. All right.
Cool.
Yep. Also, we got some news on Tuesday, February 11th, 9 a.m. They're going to be putting out a Masterverse oversized Panther, and we have this one picture. It's not a it's not a professional picture, but there you go.
How do you guys feel about this?
I don't like the saddle.
I don't think I give a shit.
Yeah.
This is one of the ones where I can finally go, oh, thank you.
Too dark a purple.
Yeah.
It's not hitting me like.
It's almost not purple.
Yeah, it's all.
It's
yeah.
so deep. It's just almost like black.
That almost looks lizardy to me, but it could be the picture.
You're
And
right.
that
Right,
picture sucks.
yeah.
Right.
It is not a great picture. Not only is it not a great picture, it's not a great angle or pose or
none of the above.
No.
But we have an idea of where they're going with it. I mean, he might end up looking pretty cool.
that
but-
spear holder's pretty rad.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a thing or
new.
not.
I've never
but
seen that on them before.
With how I look at these kind of things is always the mythic adjacent like aspect of it, and I can look at this and go, wow, that really could look cool with a figure on it, but it's not. It would need paint, and
Yeah, it would
if
need to
you're
be doctored up.
continuously buying things that you're like, this needs paint,
Right.
you eventually have a huge pile of stuff.
Yeah. So no idea on cost or anything. I would assume probably 35 or some shit around there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'll need that though. Super 7 giving us a pre-order alert on some reaction figures. Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil, black and white. You know, I'm a moderate fan of some Motley Crue.
They suck.
So, shout at the devil! There they are.
Shout.
Yeah, see, I read that. All right, so we got Nikki. That's not Nikki. That
No,
is
that was Mick Mars.
Mick Mars, Nikki
This is
Sixx,
Nikki.
Long Dong, and dyes his hair blonde. Vince Neil.
Long Dong, man,
Dyes his
Tommy
hair
Lee.
blonde, really?
he got to bang.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
He got
Yep,
to bang.
back in the day. Everything. Yep.
Got to bang. What's her name?
Pamela Anderson.
Pamela. Back when she cared about herself, wore
And
makeup.
Wasn't he Heather Locklear too?
Yeah, Tommy had a good run.
Yeah. So anyway,
I had a good run,
that's kinda
too.
neat. Whatever.
Matter of fact, he's probably still having a good run.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell yes.
Yeah.
McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Patina Edition Gold Labeled Batman Dark Knights of Steel and Jokerized Batman Dark Knights Death Metal 7-inch action figures. That's a hell of a fucking title.
McFarlane names their toys the way that early 2000s pop punk bands named their songs.
That's fair. That's
Hey, did you guys hear that new Panic at the Disco song? Lying is the most fun you can have with your clothes on. Hey man, did you see that? Yeah, I'm made of wax, Larry. What are you made of? Like what? There's nothing to do with the song.
I don't know much about these figures or
our
the
titles.
characters at all, but I can tell you I'm not really a fan of the Jokerized Batman look. I think that's kind of cheesy, but I do like the paint job of the metallized looking statuey Batman. So
Batman sucks.
Come on, Steve.
Batman sucks in general.
Come on, Steve.
Yeah, voice of Batman sucks.
No, your parents would not be proud of you in that outfit.
I want Steve to dress like that.
Oh.
Those cards are cool.
Yeah. See, I don't know. Paint job just looks good.
No,
for me.
that figure looks cool.
Yeah.
Like it definitely looks cool.
But why?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the hard part with all that stuff.
Like they keep putting this stuff out, and it's like, yeah, where do you draw the line?
and I get it. Like Batman sells. Like people are just like there's people who are like
Jingle bells,
need
Batman sells.
Thanks, Mike Smith.
I need
Jeez.
every Iron Man armor there is so I can create, like
The Hall of Armor.
I get it. So if you're a Batman person, like you want that shelf that is literally every fucking
But does-
Batman ever made.
But
Yeah,
is
that's
that
cool, but-
But does that the Iron Man suit like they tie back to something, don't they?
I understand.
Does the fucking bronze statue of Batman figure do? Is that from a book?
I bet it's from a comic.
Okay.
Yeah. There was a weird, and I definitely should not be the one to comment on it, but there was a weird thing where Batman supposedly got killed by Darkseid, but he got transported back in time.
To a statue. Did you write that yourself, Trav? Fuck.
Oh, Caleb Collects 98 said if Super 7 did 69 to 70 era Black Sabbath figures, I'd buy them. Is there any like reaction figures at all that you would ever buy? Is like something they could put out that you'd be like, yes, I
Nope.
need that.
Not a single thing.
To be completely honest with you, and I think they did. They did all the kids from the Goonies and Sloth.
Yeah.
Like, at the time, I would have had I come across them, I would have done to pop on my shelf at work, like that type of. Because there's really not, if reaction, and that's where the band stuff comes in. Like if they did a band that I was absolutely in love with,
Yeah.
like I probably would. Motley Crue, I think Motley Crue sucks.
Yeah.
Like I'm just not a fan. You know what I mean?
You got
the-
some good songs though, dude.
The reaction,
Right?
The reaction figures to me are to give you that pop culture aspect of action figure collecting that nobody else is doing.
Yeah.
So, like I said, the Goonies, or Princess Bride, or that. If they did a Christian Slater from Gleaming the Cube, you know what I mean? Like I would buy that. But yeah, it would have to be something that would be very specific to a love of mine that I would buy. But not that.
Yeah, it's few and far between for me anymore. Like I used to get kind of excited about some of them. I had some of the Turtles ones and all, but I just got rid of them. E-Man ones too.
So it's hard for me because I do have, like the Crow is one of them.
Yeah.
Like that is something I loved so much that I want an action figure of that in my collection. The problem is I would never buy the Super 7 reaction figure version when there is the Mezco
Right.
112 version, which can do fucking anything I want. You know, so
But
that
if you have to have a Nikki Six figure and that's the only one you've got,
so that is the hard part. Like
or
if-
the hardcore Crow guy that wants everything Crow that was ever made.
Yeah.
Those are the two people that it kind of hits.
Yes, for sure.
Because you're absolutely right. If you need a representation on your shelf of the Crow, what the fuck? Why am I for $22? I'm gonna buy a Glyos. I'm not gonna buy Vince Neil.
yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
I'm just not.
I understand like Trevor hit up a couple bands up there that are there's really probably not a lot of options
Right.
for those. So that I get. I totally understand that.
If it's scratching an itch,
But as soon as I have an option that is better, that is what I'm going to go for. I understand there's probably not going to be a Motley Crue Mezco one.
God, I hope not.
Right. I guess if they threw out like Metallica in, reaction form, I'd probably have to get all of them.
Is there a Super 7 reaction Charles, Steven?
No. But if there was,
What I want is I want a 5-pack.
you may have hit the one thing I might be interested in. Because I don't know if there'll ever be another Charles
Probably
ever
not.
made anywhere else.
Probably true.
Although they are talking about rebooting the series or redoing the series modern.
You know that'll be shit, though.
Probably.
That will be shit.
It will be shit unless they do what. If they follow the books and they make. Because the books are different.
Wait a minute. Did you say books?
Yeah.
Little House on the Prairie books?
Yes, that's how it all started.
Laura,
It was a book.
Laura
Ingalls Wilder wrote the books in the
and they made it into a TV show.
70s. They're based off the books that Laura wrote. The real Laura wrote. And the first few episodes of the series that went on for 11 or 12 years are kind of close to those books, but they've quickly veer off because my mom read them to me as a child. When I was a little kid, my mom read me Little House on the Prairie books. So, how do you want me to do?
Keep telling us stories, man.
I want you to interview your parents someday.
First 4 years.
Take that iPad home with you and go sit down with your mom and fucking interview her, dude.
And so I know the books a little bit. Charles.
Yeah, and then we'll pass it around and we'll all do it.
It'd just be the wind blowing while I'm sitting there at the grapes.
Crying.
What do you think about this, Mom?
What is on the iPad? It's Ash.
The whole series. The whole series it takes place pretty much in Walnut Grove. Well, in the books, they were in Walnut Grove for a summer.
Oh,
And they moved on.
Sorry, I'm going to interview your mom because she won't be wearing a bra.
true that.
So dibs on Trav's mom.
You know what? She might prefer you both interview her.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
I don't think your mom was the only mom that was fun.
Wham,
I don't know
bam.
that she was even fun.
Wham, bam, thank you, Pam.
So if they do the series based on the books and stay closer to the books, it won't compete with the original series. And if they stay truthful to that, I think it could be good.
Yeah.
However, they
Are
probably
they-
won't do that.
Is it a remake or is it going to be like a modernizing?
I don't know.
Like
All I know is
Little House in the Suburbs?
all I know is it's
Little House in the Ghetto?
all I know is the advertisement I saw for it coming showed the cover of the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
That leads me to believe it could possibly be based on the books.
If Little House on the Prairie was redone today, wouldn't the ghetto be the only place that would be similar to, trying to rough it out in the...
Or it could, you know what? If you wanted to truly modernize it, what you could do is you could do Little House on the Prairie, but it follows a series of anti-establishment militia families that are living off doomsday preppers.
There we go.
You know what I mean?
I don't think you guys have seen the show.
Have it.
Tell me that wouldn't be fun.
Definitely
though.
have it. I'm in on
You know
that
what I
one.
mean?
I'm in.
I'm going to watch the Florida people first.
Right. I'm going to tell you right now. I promise if this show gets rebooted, I will watch every episode in a timely manner
Yeah.
so Steven has somebody to at least talk about. I will do that for Steven.
You'll make it happen.
Absolutely.
I'll be watching.
Especially if fucking Pa is fucking whipping people's asses.
Non-stop.
No, could you imagine if they did Little House on the Prairie, but it's on Max? You know what I mean?
Oh, that'd be fun.
Like just throwing down.
That'd be fun.
So
What would Charles do?
Well, the real Charles was gone a lot.
why?
He was out freaking hunting and doing shit.
Oh, he's being out being a man.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Hey, stop talking about Little House.
Who said that?
JLY9.
Kyle, I'd rather talk about wrestling.
Francisco, Amish community. Come on, people.
Oh,
There you go.
There you
Yes.
go. But there's enough shows about that already.
Yeah.
Jedediah hitch the plow. I'm not sure how accurate Amish Mafia was, though, Trav. So
True.
TMNT The Last Ronin, NECA Grammy April with Baby Yee and Moha. Preview.
what the fuck did you just say?
Baby Yeet.
So this is
Baby Yeet.
This is the lost years, I believe, for Last Ronin, where
Should have stayed lost.
they take the DNA and then they make little newer
We're gonna make
baby
new
turtles.
turtles.
And she's old April.
I'm not sure if
We've
that's
gotta-
Pretty much what happens in the book is
Did she give birth to them?
Michelangelo
No.
fucks
She's a
old
grandma.
fucks old April.
Yeah.
These are the children.
Yep. She shoots out some.
I think
Hey, guys.
they harvested her eggs.
In order to do this correctly, we got to make one of the turtles brown. It's 2024. So
Very true.
I have not read much of that, so I'll have to just get the trade. And here is we finally have a picture of old Baxter from Mondo.
is this
Oh,
going to
wow.
be big?
Baxter Stockman, yes.
Oh, wow.
They've been releasing figures in this style for a little while now. We have all the turtles out and like Mondo Gecko and shit like that. But yeah, this it's a stylized version, so he's a little cartoony in shape, but like
Okay, so but when you guys say Mondo, I'm picturing like your Isn't Mondo do like
So-
your merman and shit?
12-inch.
right. This
Right.
won't be 12.
This is not
inch,
12
I
inch
don't
scale?
think.
But is it that scale? Is it supposed to scale with 12-inch figures?
I don't think
We're
so.
gonna there's an example picture that comes up here. He's got a lot of detail.
He looks cool.
Yeah.
He does look.
It's
cool.
like they threw mutagen on the vintage toy. And This
Yeah.
is what came out.
I like it. Ooh,
8 inches.
That's
There you go. That's a big bitch, though.
that is
that's
a big
big.
bitch. That's pretty cool. If-
Especially since it's 8 inches to his head. Then he has wings
Right.
on top of it.
but he's girthy.
Yeah.
no, he looks cool.
They are.
Talking about the toy.
I haven't
Dude,
farted.
imagine 8 inches.
I haven't farted, so we must be.
I mean, none of us really in here know what 8 inches looks
No.
like, but just imagine.
Put 3 of mine together. Yeah, so I don't know. He's pretty cool. I'm not getting a single one of these though. I can't go down that rabbit hole.
Price, do you know? I bet it's not cheap. It's got to be substantial.
Yeah, in all honesty, I have no clue
Yeah,
what
no
the price is on these.
Someone will help us out with that.
Maybe.
What the fudge?
If you were out of the pop vinyl game, get ready to jump back in.
You're in.
Because you're in. Because we have the 40th anniversary
Of
of
the girls golden.
the Girls
This
Golden.
is timely with our topic for Rushmore.
Did anybody watch this? Did anybody watch
My
it?
parents
Yes.
watched it, so I watched it by osmosis.
I watched it with my
Yeah.
grandma. My grandma watched it. And
I
I watched
watched
it with
it
her.
by myself. I was waiting for other shows to come on, and it was after other shows I was watching. So
I liked
wasn't that
it. I liked
This
it.
is exactly where Travis's affinity from Gray comes from.
I would have fucked all those women.
Every one of them.
All of them.
Line them up and knock them down.
Great grandma. Line her up.
I would have made sure Betty was real white when I got done.
All my dad did is sit in his chair, watch the show, giggle, and say, "Oh, Maud."
Which one was
B. Arthur
Maud?
was Maud.
What's her
B.
name?
Arthur?
Yeah.
B. Arthur was Maud on another show, and
Yeah.
he just called her Maud.
And they're all in their 80s what fucking aerobics outfits.
I
So-
bet if you went back now and watched Golden Girls, you would sit there and go, "This is a fucking good show." Like even today, you would go back and say
Betty
that.
White was always funny.
Oh.
So
Blanche was
Yep.
fun.
yeah, we had
Whore.
the horror.
Betty
yeah.
Betty White just comedically, like some of the greatest. I literally just stumbled across a video the other day of it was just outtakes, and it was somebody screwing up, and then her just ad-libbing and just dropping bombs on people. She was so fucking good in the moment.
She could do serious shit like Titanic.
I don't think that was her.
That wasn't her.
Pretty sure it was.
Pretty sure it was.
Nacelle Company and $7 Productions strike a partnership with Tubi for highly anticipated original animated series RoboForce. I don't know that it's highly anticipated
How
by
many? How many shows are you currently watching on Tubi?
0.
We're too old.
But
To be or not to
which
be.
is funny because these RoboForce figures have been out for a little bit. They're already going on clearance at Walmart, saying based on the hit TV series, which hasn't even come out yet. So they're lying because is it highly anticipated or is it a hit?
Francisco Ramirez says Travis would so get a shower golden from them.
Betty
Pee
White,
on me.
Betty White on Mary Tyler Moore was good, and Mary Tyler Moore was hot.
While I have no interest in a shower golden, I've heard that
You are more interested in a shower golden from Betty White than you are a RoboForce animated series on Tubi.
without a doubt. With that said, though, I've heard that squirting could be just,
Yeah.
and I enjoy that without a doubt. So, I mean, am I right?
At the end of the day, like everyone's like, well, you know that's pee, right? And I'm like, you know I don't care, right?
I hope it's pee.
Yeah.
I don't like it when it's too wet. It means they're enjoying it too much.
I want to hear it scraping.
That's immoral. You don't want a girl who enjoys it too much.
I prefer sandpaper.
I wanted to sound like a balloon.
I'm in. You know me, I'm always itching for friction.
So I will say I did see a little bit of a snippet on this.
I watched the trailer.
Dude, I heard The Rock and I heard Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
Okay. I watched it and I didn't recognize any
But
of the
were they
voices,
the
but I guess I
same?
wasn't paying
Man.
attention.
Because there was 2 cartoons that were coming out, and they were spearheading both. I didn't know if one was
Oh,
one
no, I
and
think
one
they're
was the
different.
other.
I think they're different.
Yeah, one is doing RoboForce and one is doing the other.
Yeah,
I just
Biker
can't-
Mice.
Biker Mice,
Ryan
yeah.
Reynolds
So
is doing
in this
Biker Mice.
trailer, though, I thought I saw real quick. I thought I saw the biker mice in it.
Yeah.
So
Ryan Reynolds supposedly is attached to the Biker Mice. Now,
can't.
they're cartoons. It's not like you're going to see Ryan Reynolds in this, but he is a part of it, right?
I can't get behind Ryan Reynolds right now with this whole drama between him and Taylor Swift and his wife.
What?
I don't think it's Taylor Swift at all. I think
No, it's
Blake
Taylor
Lively
Swift.
and-
Blake Lively and Taylor Swift getting into it. They're fighting.
they're getting into it.
Yeah, they're like best
was-
friends.
They're beefing now?
Yeah,
I knew there
then-
was some movie drama that Blake Lively was in. And
Yeah.
like the director is like
Yeah.
suing them, and
Yeah,
basically Ryan Reynolds is a total dick.
Yeah, and I was like, man, not Ryan Reynolds too. And now I'm
It
like,
breaks my
"Aw."
heart because I'm like, oh, now they're gonna pull him from fucking.
But
the
like,
MCU.
Taylor was like, what's her Blake Lively's like bestie, and now
Yeah.
they're not getting along, and it's just ruining this whole thing I had. This whole like, Hollywood is great and super, fantastic because it's and then it's
No, they're all scumbags.
it's ruining the image.
They're all scumbags. But yeah, so anyway, there's a cartoon coming out. Watch the trailer. It's out if you want.
Wow, this is the stupidest shit ever.
What?
What?
So this beef apparently.
Oh, he looked it
He
up.
looked up the beef.
Now we're gonna start.
I thought we were just gonna glance on this.
Nope,
not-
we're a Hollywood commentating.
I just it'll take 2 seconds.
Thing, words.
Basically, Blake Lively allegedly leveraged her friendship with Taylor Swift to get her way. Behind the scenes of It Ends With Us, according to one of the actors.
Oh, so it's all tied into that movie. Then.
Hey, listen, if you don't do it this way,
Yeah.
I'm not going to reach out to Taylor about being able to use this song for the trailer. That's apparently what this is.
And,
what the
and I heard this
allegation is.
thing where they like invited the director over to a meeting with Blake Lively to try to so she could convince him on what he wanted, but then she ambushed him with Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift being at the meeting with her, that they showed support to try. They're like, no, we really think this is good, and you should probably do this and stuff. And
I
so
heard
yeah,
Ryan Reynolds was coming on set and like throwing his weight around, and he
Oh,
went off on
man,
the guy,
and
and
I'm
they
like-
tried to blame him for being inappropriate, but then there's like proof that he wasn't, and that like she was trying to run the whole show, and
Damn.
yeah, and they're saying that Nice Pool is actually a parody of that guy, the director of that movie, and Blake Lively's in the movie, and then they end up, yeah, it's drama, man.
But it sounds like it's not anything that's like this is not real world problems by any stretch of the imagination.
No,
It's not real world
it's
problems.
nerd world
No.
problems, because who knows?
Why does he keep leaving?
I don't.
Gotta pee.
Dude, have you checked your A1C?
Yeah, that's
It's
a lot
been,
of peeing.
it's been a while.
It's been a while.
Been a long time.
I feel good, but I pee a lot.
So, do we have any more toy news? I apologize.
I don't remember. Oh yeah, not really toy, but
Based
human.
on if frequent urination is a sign of diabetes and squirting is urine, my wife has type 9 diabetes. So I'm gonna throw that little nug out there.
I would put plastic down. That's just.
Those
So-
soaking up pants.
John Irwin,
John Irwin,
voice of legendary.
voice of Morris the Cat and He-Man,
Why? But why in that order?
because it was first,
Okay.
I think.
All right.
Steve, you got a chance here.
He-Man and Cringer.
can you pop
or
that
not
back up
Cringer,
for me?
Beastman and
He-Man. Yep,
Grandmere.
Beastman.
Not that. Can you-
Got to
how
say
about
Prince
the-
Adam.
Yep, Prince Adam,
Stratos.
Stratos.
You got a chance
Can
here,
I see that?
Steve.
Can I see
I
that?
think.
again, Cody.
Was he
Can I see
Stratos
the-
or was maybe
the He-Man
maybe?
one? No, the one with the
You got a chance, Steve. You could slide right in.
I don't think so.
36 to 25.
Yeah,
Wow.
88.
So,
88.
88 years old.
Way too long. Come on.
So Skeletor outlived He-Man. It's getting scary, man. All our heroes are dying
Let
off.
the power return is a direct quote because his wheelchair died halfway across the street. I'm kidding, of course. Obviously a legend and a big deal for especially the Motu people. I don't have much of an attachment, obviously, but he was the voice of the original animated He-Man
Yes.
in all the cartoons.
Yes.
So he was He-Man. He was the
He-Man.
guy.
He is the He-Man. He is,
It's
he
just
is
like,
the voice.
what's his name is Optimus.
Yes.
Right.
Always
Right.
will be.
Always will be.
Was he still doing stuff?
No, he's dead.
I said was.
No, he's actually in his. He was very elusive. He never went out. He never went to do shows. I mean, I think he might have done some voiceover stuff. I think he did do a little bit of.
Fuck these nerds!
Yeah. He did do a little bit of like Family Guy and some other things, but yeah, he like. I think there's one picture of him, and the most recent one is like from like 2003 or some shit like that. Like he notoriously just didn't. He appreciated everybody and all that stuff, but I guess he like didn't. He didn't want to ruin He-Man's reputation by being some old fat guy, you know, going to shows and which I can, you know.
I appreciate
But on
him.
the flip side, it's like, dude, everybody else is doing it.
Yeah.
We don't care what they look like.
But he's like, I don't need it.
The last
Skeletor goes out there and can't even do Skeletor's voice anymore, and we're like, fuck yeah! Do your regular voice.
the last thing he's credited with doing on IMDb is he did He-Man's voice on an episode of Family Guy in 05, so 20 years ago.
He's been dead, but his family's just been raking in the
Royalties.
royalties from. Yeah.
No, he's still alive.
He's alive in our hearts.
Rick Jones said he's still doing stuff, decomposing.
He-Man, Prince Adam, Beastman, Drone 7, King Darkspur, Caleb, or Captain Sludgeman, Granamere, and then I run out of.
There's a zillion voices he did. You could always, I can always.
He can't
As an
pronounce,
adult, I can tell.
can't pronounce robot.
Robot Knights, Skeletor Robot Knights.
I don't know why I said robot, but he did.
I love that guy's voice, and it'll always be soothing to me
Yeah.
to hear He-Man talk. And
He was the
make
voice
his-
of a donkey on Aesop's Fables in 71.
Boom.
He was in Back to the Future.
Obviously, you two.
voice on the
thi-
radio.
Yeah, the voice
this,
on the radio.
This means a lot more to you two than it did to P and I, of course. Does this one, when you hear that this guy passed, does it hit you a little bit? Do
No.
you have a little pull at the...
No, I didn't know him
Yeah. Not as
personally.
not as hard as I thought it would. Like,
But 88's also, it's not really a tragedy. That's a hell of a great
dude
life.
lived his life.
You know?
He lived his life.
plus it's not like he was out there doing anything. Like, basically the guy's been like publicly dead for fucking years.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's face it. He got paid to do it. He probably thought it was stupid. I'm sure he did the best he could. And it's probably why he walked away and be like, well, these kids can't freaking let up, give up. He probably was an asshole. And then
why he wouldn't go to the
everybody
shows.
just covers from him and says, he appreciates you guys. But actually what he really got is, those guys need to get a fucking life. That's probably what they got on the phone when they tried to get him. I'll always love his voice and his portrayal of He-Man. And
Good time.
I'd like to say thank you, but really, why should I say thank you? He got paid to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, but he shaped your life.
No, not like Charles.
Lives presents Morris.
Ready for a boat ride, Morris?
I wouldn't trust that thing in the bathtub.
We'll eat on board.
Sinking ships affect my appetite.
Oh, don't be finicky. I brought 9 lives.
I can't let her sail that thing alone.
Tuna and chicken or seafood platter.
9 live seafood platter. Anchors away.
This is Morris the cat.
Yeah.
Nutritious foods cats really.
Yep.
And I love the way that
He-Man.
That was how I knew I made it.
That's how it.
you know how when he did have some definite influence on me, because you know how when He-Man would pick something up or throw something and he'd make that. I used to do that when I was a kid. Well, like when I was picking up something heavy, I'd think that was cool to make that noise.
Now you make it when you get up off the can.
And the can makes it when you sit down on it.
That's right. Yeah. So sad day. And I think that might be all the toy news that I brought.
All right.
What
That's
is
good because Cody's gone. So.
Yeah,
Right. Yeah, he left.
which I can't do go into my next little bit here, but what is the age? I understand we're aging, we're getting older, but do you look at things and go, hey, this is kind of the age where I'm okay with punching my ticket? I mean, I understand it's a health related thing.
It is.
Yes, you can't really say.
Yeah.
But you can look at your loved ones that you sometimes wish would punch their ticket.
What you need to do is get Pa Ingalls in here to punch their ticket for them.
Ingalls Pa.
So if you, so you die tomorrow, right? What could you say that? Is there anything you can say? I wish I would have done this.
Oh yeah.
What is it? Hit me.
Wish I'd have been rich.
Do I got to name their names?
That's really weird that you went immediately to pussy, but not really.
I wish I would have released one full album of music.
You're close.
All you have to do is click send.
Yeah,
you dumb
make it
shit.
happen.
So hard.
No, you did all the hard work. Writing and composing and redoing and mixing and all that
part.
shit.
The mixing is the hard part. And that's
But
where
it's
I'm at.
done.
Aren't you kind of at the
It's
point where
fucking
you're
been done. I've heard them all.
Aren't you at the point where you're like Steven, where you're sitting there with this whole bank of things that you just have to go upload?
Yeah,
Yes.
but then I'll put it. So it sounds great in my headphones. I'm like, oh yeah, I can hear everything. The vocals are big. Okay, yep, good to go.
Well, then I
And
play
put
it out loud on my
speakers.
phone, and I put it in the kitchen sink, and I don't like the way this
Then
sounds.
I put it on the
You put it in the
speakers.
fucking kitchen sink on an iPhone, you cunt.
Then you can't. Then I put it in the speakers. And I go, okay, no, that doesn't sound quite right. I'm gonna have to tweak. Okay, put it back in the headphones. Okay, all right, maybe this. Okay, now I'll just listen to it on the phone. Whatever, okay. And then I go out to the van and I plug it in there and I go, it's fucked. Can't hear shit.
Dude, you're driving a Dodge Caravan.
But that in the music world, the ultimate test is the car test.
I get
you-
it.
If it
I
doesn't
get
feel-
it.
sound good in the
I
car,
get it.
Do you feel like you maybe caravan more about your feelings than getting the music out?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Because I can do something for.
You're much more concerned about somebody not liking your music than you are the mix being off. And you're going to keep sabotaging yourself because of your personality.
I don't know what I heard. I thought was pretty good.
It was amazing. It was absolutely
But I
amazing.
listened to it in a Honda.
Well, see, here's the thing.
What's your van?
Chrysler Pacific.
A Chrysler Pacific.
So here's the thing: is I can make something for someone else, and I'm on a time crunch, and I have to get it out, and I'm like, okay, you know what? That's it, and I just send it off, and
Yeah.
it's out of my hands. With this shit, I go, I don't have to do that. I can sit there and I can be meticulous, and I can change this, and I can move this, and I
All
can,
right, George Lucas.
yeah. Fucking sucks. I need to just fucking send it out.
I just figured our next Patreon content episode.
Yeah?
And we'll do a blind draw. Okay, blind draw the 5 of us, because Cody's definitely in on this one.
Oh, he looks excited.
If you got to spend a day in one of us as bodies,
Wives.
bodies, what would you do in that day? Just think about it. I mean, we're not going to talk about it here. Fucking Jeremy would come back. All his fucking shit would be on Spotify.
So here's
And Laura would be crying.
so Jeremy says, when I do stuff for other people, there's a time crunch and ba ba da ba da. So I want you guys to be aware that there's currently 3 Jeremy songs on Spotify. Next Sunday, our Mount Rushmore topic is the top 4 Jeremy DeWitt songs.
Ooh.
So you have to have them on there by next Sunday for us to hear to be able to
I'm
vote.
leaving Wednesday to go to Georgia.
Plenty of time. You'll be in a car. You could just push upload. I imagine
So
it's
I
that
probably
easy.
won't even be here next Sunday.
Which will be weird.
Definitely won't be here next Sunday.
It's been a long time since we did an episode without Jeremy.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since a rock and roll.
It's been a while.
Totally.
I had to go visit my dying friend.
You
I'm
should.
sorry.
If I was in Jeremy's
should.
body, I'd get high, so I could see what it's like without damaging my own brain.
Right, I'm totally on a hiatus, though.
You should be
Hiatus.
protecting your brain at this point, Steven.
Oh, I think he needs to mush it up a little.
Nah, you should so protect it.
I have a sneaky suspicion if I was in Travis's body, obviously I would be intimate with Heidi. And a minute and a half in, she'd be like, "Oh my God, it's Peter." Like she'd know.
She would just automatically.
Just the caring touch and the attention to detail to make sure it's good for her. She's like, "This is not Travis."
Travis
Oh,
was
it's
in,
because you're like, call me Petey. Call me Petey.
Oh yeah, Petey likes that. Petey likes that.
Cody, real quick, can you pull up the memes from our friends? I think that's what we're calling them.
I think we're just calling them our muchachos,
no,
aren't
upload,
they?
sorry.
Yes, sir.
I would fuck Heidi up so bad when I didn't want it. I'd be like, I'd go to bed. I go to bed and I wouldn't even be interested. She'd be like, "What the hell's wrong with you, Travis?" I'm like, "I've had that shit before."
We're saving it for Patreon. We're saving it.
She'd probably be into me so hard because.
Oh yeah, because you're denying.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're playing hard to get. I don't know if we ever discussed this one, but it's here, so we're doing it now.
I love this one.
I do. This one is so good.
Wherever you are.
So this is Titanic. Travis is on the bow with his outfit with his camouflage jacket, and Jack is looking to kiss his neck or something. It looks like.
And little Steve-O Beg is
Steve-O Bag in the background.
in the background.
Begging for it.
Just without a doubt.
I've been known to Steve-O beg for sex. So
Okay, so
I just need Nate to send this to me, and I'll have shirts in 3
This
weeks.
should happen.
this is amazing.
this is amazing.
The circle jerks.
Yeah,
So fucking good.
This is your art, right? You did this right. That's not yours.
I don't know who
Is
did.
that-
That's
Oh,
not.
that was somebody did that for. It was you.
Oh,
I think
this
you
was
hired
yes.
somebody.
I'm
You
sorry. This
paid
is our
somebody.
local. It's our local boy, right?
Yeah. I don't know.
The one that suicidal
Valdez?
guy?
Valdez.
Yes.
Did you say suicide guy?
The suicidal guy.
No, not
No,
him.
not
Oh,
him.
not him.
Not him.
There is a suicidal guy.
I still love
draw
those.
that.
I still love those. I knew that it wasn't Jeremy. I knew that, but I thought it was Steve. But now that you say that, yes, I'm totally with you on that one. Nate put that together, and that shirt is
Fire.
fire.
And to understand it, you're going to have to listen. You'd be a Patreon member.
You got to be a Patreon member to understand it. Yeah,
Perfect order, too.
That is that is so good.
That's the order it would be.
Me with my duster, and
It's a duster.
Dominic knows us very well, so he hit us with the duster. Francisco. How has it been with Francisco in the Glios group, by the way?
He hasn't done anything in the Glios group. He just
All he's done is stole
takes our pictures. It's just fucking. It's basically the Adventures of Pocket Glaus is just a fodder bin for him,
Yes.
which is fine.
Which is perfect. Moments before the most epic and at the same time worst three-way ever.
The funny part is the three-way is just me and my two Glios.
Right.
So
And me watching you be in the Glios.
Jeremy, I just love your face in this. This is what
I don't remember what.
I don't know what it was either, but it's one of my favorites.
I
Yeah.
always make stupid faces.
Nah.
They're not gonna have one serious face of me at my funeral. It's
It'll be those.
all gonna be like, "Durr."
Then we got the face that you make when you try to discreetly let out a fart, but then you feel something warm start to run down your pants. And
That's the
it,
cum coming out of his butt.
Peter in his winter gear holding his Glios. Yeah. That almost looks like a real picture of you, by the way.
that is a real picture of me.
He just took a picture of him and put words on it.
Yeah, that's all. It's just a captioned picture.
That Glios group is gold, isn't it?
That's not fucking Photoshop. That's me at ice rescue training before I went into the ice hole as a victim.
Oh, nice. Have you guys seen these, by the way? Okay. That's all right, sure.
Hornier and hornier for, or horny and hornier for Glios 2.
Pete and Jeremy.
Yeah, the cover of Dumb and Dumber 2,
Yeah, so good.
but with us.
There they are. Sometimes I wonder about doing these on YouTube, but here we go.
Yeah.
There's oral sex pros and cons. It is a attractive woman, just kind of like joking oral.
Joking whirl.
Yeah, giving a man oral sex releases special hormones in the female body to cause metabolism to peak, resulting in weight loss. By the way, do you guys believe this is a true stat?
Yeah.
True.
I do. I believe it.
Next is a picture of our Lord and Savior Stephen and the con. Did you know you can't impregnate a mouth?
Oh.
Oh.
Don't want to waste your precious seed.
And next, if not, oh yes, Jeremy wearing his favorite hat. It's a picture.
Glios cuck.
It's a picture of Pete's face.
With Glios in his hat.
Oh, so good.
This may end up a lunchbox.
A good one there.
This is good.
You got a drawing, but this is by Dusty.
Dusty,
right?
I love Dusty.
We got
Gang Studios.
Yeah,
got Curtis sitting behind a computer. I love the sticker on the front.
he's not sitting.
No, he's standing. He's just really
Is that how tall he is? All right, we're going with that.
Speaking of Gang Studio, I got my Dusty shirt on today.
Yeah.
Dusty,
My Dusty balls.
Dusty, I don't know if you listened to Potu or not yet, but
You're not that desperate.
we down for wrestling match this year at Legion's Con. I need to know whether I need to start training.
I would love to watch Dusty beat your ass.
Oh, look how happy Jeremy looks.
This one's weird.
They're all fucking weird.
This one's a little weirder.
I don't understand this. How did we get such weird listeners?
I don't know, but this picture on the right, I look at that
Could
and I
have
go, why
something
did
to do with
Jesus
the
need
weird
glasses?
Patreon episodes we put out. Because I think that's what this is based on.
Probably true. This is a beautiful picture of our Jeremy talking about poop.
Yeah, one side you have my it says sticking your wiener in poop. And the other one is a big happy face, Jeremy. It says sticking your wiener in poop that's still inside someone.
Why is that okay, but the other isn't?
They feel much different.
Well, yeah. You're willing to let it go. Didn't we have a Patreon episode about that?
We did. That's where I think this is from.
That's right up there with eating toes.
Thank you, friends.
Which I'm coming around to and now that I'm thinking about the deep frying and
No,
just eating chicken wings off
I shouldn't
bone.
have brought it up.
Come on,
I shouldn't have brought it up.
easy. Is
All
this
right.
usually about the time where Cody's like, "What the fuck am I
Are we,
doing here?"
We should probably talk about our Mount Rushmore thing, huh?
And do that
Without a
before Thanks UBS guy? Or do we do thanks UPS guy?
I don't
And
know what
then...
order we do shit.
We
Let's
usually
do
do
it.
it after thanks UPS guy, but I don't care.
Either
Thanks UPS guy. All right. What you got? What you got?
Who's going first?
I can.
Go ahead.
I'm willing. I got I finally opened up my Maestro, which is our Hulk in the future.
Wow.
I finally opened up this big old beast, and obviously I've always been a Hulk fan. This is one of my favorite Hulks because, guess what? He's a monster, and I'm a fan. So this is when Bruce kind of loses his mind because if I remember right, he gets an extra dose of gamma or whatever it is. And,
Apparently he loses some hair on the top.
oh yeah, he becomes an old man. Kills a whole slew of Avengers. He's just a bad dude, which is a fun storyline that I always enjoyed. So this is him. This is a Marvel Legend. Hasbro finally, is kind of starting to hit some of these characters, and when they've done them, they've actually started doing like a really good job. I really like the face head sculpt on this guy. I'm a fan.
It's been a while since we've had a Marvel Legend
Quite a while, right?
and thanks UPS guy.
And
Especially one that was actually opened.
And I will say that's the other side of it. I've had him for a while sitting on a shelf. This is not a new figure by any means. I think it's probably been at least maybe 6 to 8 months that he actually came out. But I finally pulled the trigger on opening him up. And I like him for sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yep.
I think he's beefy and fun.
Oh, he's a beefy figure. And Hulk will always be one of my favorites. Next, which just might lead into a little bit of a conversation, which will buy you guys some time to open your toys or whatever. I have Jeremy DeWitt in space.
I like it.
Which is where Jeremy DeWitt spends a lot of his time.
What?
Kane has been spending a lot of time in this room, and he is really enjoying the pop and swap aspect of Mythic Legions.
He is really enjoying fucking my shit up.
And that's a very good way to describe it. And that's the conversation I kind of want to have. Now, don't get me wrong. These are all extra parts. This is stuff from the Allegiance Con exclusive Monster Builder set, which in my opinion, this is what it's literally made for. It's made for popping, swapping, creating whatever you want to create. I think this is probably a Halo gun. This is a 3D printed custom sword, which I knew where it was from. I'm pretty sure Frank Lira painted it up. Which, by the way, Frank Lira, recovering from a broken leg, unfortunately will not make it to Mesquite Con.
No shit.
Yes, which totally sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Because it means Anna won't be there. So I feel like I struggle with this, and so this is where I want to ask you guys. Kids in a toy room is rough. Like, I can think back to remember Marvel Universe The Thing, which is a 4-inch figure, but let's be honest, had some girth. And I remember watching my son take that Thing figure and throw it at a whole bunch of G.I. Joes sitting on the flag. And while in my mind, I was like, that looks like exactly what a kid should do.
Right. And then in reality, I went full pot angles.
I was going to say pie angles.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like this. I'm walking in, and I've joked, you guys know, like he just created a pop and swap that has parts from Atomon, and
Right.
now that figure was sitting on a shelf that someday the plan was for that to get sold. It's just
You were going
sitting
to sell
there.
your Atomon?
Yeah, it's an extra.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 Yeah, we all feel bad for you.
And you shouldn't by any means. But it had a broken ponytail, which I would have disclosed, of course. after I super glued it back
No,
together to
it's-
look like it never happened.
As soon as you fucking post, I'm instantly going to start with the scam. I don't know about this guy. Goods and services.
Yeah.
Services and goods.
But as like I'm watching him do these pop and swaps, it is also making me appreciate and love the toys even more again.
Jesus, you're fucking lame.
So lame. We all know, especially when it comes with Mythic Legions, if you're not taking all the extras and putting them in a bag, putting them back together someday is
Yeah.
a nightmare.
Yeah.
It could be impossible.
Yes, like they come with so much. Now I will say today, I believe last day to order the book
Oh shit.
from Four Horsemen
shit.
Studios, and that book is. Don't worry, you guys. Retailers also are going to have a shot at this.
Okay.
So while I don't get me wrong, ordering from the Four Horsemen is the best way to go, without a doubt. If you miss out today on ordering it from them, you still have an opportunity. You just have to pay a little bit more. I putting this stuff back together afterwards, and I've bought large lots from people, loose lots. Joe Crazy Bill being one of them. It is the only thing I could compare it to is G.I. Joe, because if you think about 4-inch G.I. Joes, they came with how many parts and pieces?
Yeah, especially in the later releases, they came with a lot. Started to come with a lot of stuff.
And guess what? It's all the same stuff.
Yeah,
It's just painted a little bit differently. You know, so it creates that, and as a collector, watching him do this sometimes creates some serious anxiety.
I could see that.
Like serious anxiety. Except for I also get in my brain and go, dude, he's playing with toys.
My adult son is playing with toys.
he's doing what these toys were meant to do.
He's literally doing. That's what they're for. You know, whereas I am the guy that takes it. Steve, please pose this for me.
And then you forget that it even exists.
I put it on a shelf, and don't get me wrong, I will look at that shelf and go, man, I fucking love that shelf. Look at all that green over there. But it's not what they're made for, right? Like it's not the purpose of it. So this figure is a great. Don't get me wrong; these are all extra parts as far as the Furies 4 set goes, because I might have bought a few of them.
Right.
Yeah. But it still creates this. Now, I love this character. Like, I look at this character and go, I want that on my shelf. I love it. It looks great.
Yeah.
You know,
Fun.
what do you guys think? Like, what's your opinion on this?
So the way I collect is very much kind of how you do, in a way where everything that came with them is very specific to that character. I like the option to be able to change shit up, but I'm not gonna.
You pick what you want.
I'm gonna pick the one head, and the other one's gonna go in a drawer for the rest of its life. I'll forget it even exists.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of boring that way. It's just I have like tiny bits of OCD in that way.
Yep.
So if someone is actually going out of their way and having some fun and doing, you have all these other options. Fuck you. No, I don't.
Yeah.
And someone's going, yes, you do. And they're doing it. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
I've always encouraged my kid to play with my toys anyway.
Right.
He's always really good at it. never hurt the figures or anything. So
It's kind of what it's for, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. Pete just handed me like a shield piece, and it's broke, and found it on the floor or wherever he found it. Like,
Mother.
shit happens. Like, I mean, like that's part of it. Like, I understand that, but for the most part, he's pretty good with it.
Super chat from Curtis. Did Pete get Dirk's Designs a table from SkiCon?
That's between me and Dirk. Oh, mind your goddamn business, Curtis. Shoot, this fucking guy.
Thank you for your money, though, Curtis.
No, I'm going to deduct $2 off of Dirk's table bill.
You've been fine.
Easy.
You've been fine.
Yeah, easy.
Steve, what do you think? What do you think about my kids popping, swapping all these figures?
I mean, dude, I'm a customizer. I pop and swap and switch and paint and do things all the time. Now, that being said, I love the Horsemen's characters
Original.
that they make.
Yep.
So I try to always keep one Now, here's what happens to me a lot is I get an idea and I get motivated. I think artists get like this. We sit around, we do nothing, we don't have any motivation. And then all of a sudden something happens and I'm like, oh my God, I got to do this right now.
Yeah.
And I will run to my freaking case. I'll pull a figure right off the case that, especially if I know I have one that's in package.
Yeah.
And then I'll rip that son of a bitch apart and I'll modify it, paint it, swip it, flop it, do it whatever I want to do, take a picture of it, and then be like, okay, now I'll sell it. And I'll sell that figure. And what happens is then I have the security in knowing that I have one in package as it's supposed to be.
Yep.
So I'm doing that shit all the time, but like I guess what I'm saying is that's what they're meant to do. I think it's good that they're getting played with and stimulating imaginations. But I do also see why people are like, hey, I want the character with all of its fixings and everything else because I'm a little bit like that too.
Yeah, the OCD part of it.
And they're your figures. If you're okay with it, then by all
Right,
means.
of course.
And I've got bins and all my little parts and pieces for my Glyos are separated. And I'm buying multiples now because I want to do these builds, but I don't want to give up having the original.
No, you still want that original one.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's I have all the parts and even the pins. Like I get upset if my pins get mixed up and they're all the exact same pin. They're just different colors,
In that little piece, what you're describing there, so the weird thing for me, and this is part of being a toy flipper, of course, there is no figure in the Mythic Legions line that I feel like I can't get again. Don't get me wrong. I understand some of them are expensive, and some of them are very expensive. The only things that I really tell him, do not fucking touch, are the customs.
Right.
The things that I have.
Those are truly one-offs.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the
paint
Jeremy
rub
DeWitts,
is
the
different.
Stephen Bouchattis, the Eric Millers, the Chris Middlecamps, the Joe Crazy Bills. Do not fucking touch those.
Right.
The stuff that is like, you pull it out, and don't get me wrong. I'm not, if I got a $600 figure in there, I'm not saying, dude, tear that thing apart. I'm not doing that.
Right.
But that Adamon,
yeah.
I mean,
you're lucky I love you, kid.
Yeah, exactly. But I will also say the other side of this is, and we've talked about this numerous times, I don't spend as much time in, the most time I spend in this room is with you four.
Yeah.
Like, that's the reality of it. He is in here a lot. And I will come down here and sit with him, and it does not mean that I am always popping, swapping, playing. I might just be organizing. I might be trying to get things, or figuring out what needs to get sold, what needs to get kept. It is causing me to take more enjoyment in something that I have loved for 10 plus years now.
You take it for granted for a while.
Yeah.
When somebody else comes in with a fresh perspective, you kind of like fall in love with it again.
And it creates me to want to pop and swap some things.
Maverick says robots customs are fair game though.
Well, basically the moral of the story is you either have to tell him to not touch anything, or risk him tearing apart a custom because he doesn't know.
He does not know. He does not know.
He didn't know that Adamon was special.
A $300 figure. No.
Well, I wasn't. I had a broken ponytail.
It might change things a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's probably missing a few parts.
I can look at a lot of customs here that I would, if I didn't know, I didn't know.
Yeah,
you can usually tell
they're that good.
You may be able to tell the head is a custom because it's on by sticky tag or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that,
they're
you might not be able
to.
It's a tag sticky.
Oh, I thought you said text me, Pete. I'm like, what?
No. I didn't say it backward. Dice was on the left. Slice was on the right.
What else you got here, Trav?
That's the end for me.
That's it?
Right there, yep.
Peter?
My Space Jeremy.
Sure. So I got Glyos.
Yay!
A couple of different packages in the mail. So the God Beast Raw Shark collaboration. And I bought some extras because I've been playing with these, and that's really I think kind of where I'm really enjoying this is because I'm actually staying in this because I carry one with me. They're easy to mess with. I have a few on my shelf laying around the house, my computer desk, my desk at work. Like, they don't take up the space, and I'm staying actively excited about these because they're not getting put in a tote and then getting thrown in the storage unit or whatever.
Right, exactly.
You know, so this is this right here is the Colgrim, the Raw Shark. So that's the colorway that matches the figure that you got at Legion's Con.
Yeah.
This one. So then they did the new colorway, and So I don't have all the accessories. They're in the bins at home where they belong.
I like the original colorway, I think, better. But these are cool.
So, but I bought 2 of each of those, so I could, pop and swap and goof around and play with them a little bit. And they come with pieces I still don't understand. Like I still have a lot to learn about Glyos. But yeah, so that's the God Beast Raw Shark shipment that I got. Super fun. Ooh. And
you were just watching it happen.
I love the chaos.
Yeah. Fall down, you fucks.
I can't imagine what you could create if you combine all those fuckers together.
Yeah. You have enough like attachment pieces.
Another recent sale, the Spaced Out design.
Yep. I ended up getting one of those.
I got the Geodraxis and the Velgarian in this awesome pink and purple colorway. And I got the other Velgarian here's the other Velgarian in that colorway. So, yeah.
What?
Oh,
Steve's just making fucking John Irwin noises over here.
that's okay. So,
Yeah, we all.
Aren't we happy he's bringing toys?
no.
I'm happy that Pete has been engaged in the podcast these last couple episodes.
I will tell
say
you,
that.
listening to the last episode, you 3 got along
Swimmingly.
like and loved toys.
Is it the energy drink, Pete, that's helping you?
He drinks those every time.
I always drink those.
Every time.
So, I got a couple of nice stuff.
Explain this to me.
Why were you good?
So,
Why do I like you?
I don't like these feelings inside me.
We had a good conversation about a Masters of the Universe
You had
movie.
a great conversation. Great conversation about a Master of the Universe movie.
So a couple of nice stuff, Glyos as well. So I have this mold, and this is one of the removable helmet that you guys have seen. I brought it in purple. But the green one actually came with a separate head, and the purple one did not. So I got 2 because there's an awesome second head.
They're coming around.
Around. So I had a little scenario. I got home from work, and there was a little package on the countertop, which was the nice stuff. And then next to it was a hand and forearm, and then a full arm of another nice stuff just sitting on the counter. And I said, honey, where did these come from? She said, the dryer. And I went, oh, well, one of my pocket Glyos took one hell of an adventure and went through the washer and dryer. And she's like, but I didn't find any of the other pieces. I'm like, well, where the fuck is the rest of it? Yeah. So I went through the pile of laundry and found the figure with just missing its one full arm and one half arm, put it back together. But
the downside of having pocket Glyos is
Right.
forgetting you put in
In your pocket.
Glyos.
especially because at this point I have so many that I kind of just, so.
You know, I'm so happy that you 2 are enjoying these, and I do think they're fun, and I'm glad that there's a community out there that enjoys them. But I'm going to just say Space Jeremy would fuck these things up.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, he would.
Yep.
But he'd enjoy it, so that's fine.
And I did a trade deal with Mythic Legions and Glyos, which would probably make you guys both throw up.
Yeah, but if
But,
it makes you happy, that's all that
Oh, it made
matters.
him happy. It made me happy. It was perfect.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna kind of save those because I've got probably 12 more in my bin.
Hey, yo.
So, but yeah. And currently, Mighty Maniacs has a sale. It dropped on Friday at 1 p.m. I know there's one sold out. I have not picked.
One looked like a Battle Beast, didn't it? Was that the one I was thinking of, or?
The one I remember is the one with the duck head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that made me think of Battle Beast. I
Yep.
guess I should. It maybe isn't, but it made me think of them.
But they I have not ordered anything. That's the first drop. There's been
Yeah.
a drop every other week, really, since
Yeah,
Legion's
there wasn't
Con.
anything really in that wave where I was like,
There was I really liked the green dragon lizard-esque one that I still may pick up, but I also need to wait for packages to come in the mail because I don't remember.
I don't remember what I got.
I need to reset for a second.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like I said, I've been super happy and having a lot of fun with it.
Super chat.
Oh.
Super.
Francisco says, FYI, Glyos collecting is a side effect of Ozempic.
Well, I'll
Could
ask.
be.
I'll find out. Next time I talk to somebody who's on Ozempic,
Oh!
I'll ask them.
Oh.
So,
They're the same thing.
I like these translucent.
Translucent is always cool.
Yeah.
I don't care what toy it's in. It's always cool.
Except Glyos.
but yeah. So that's me haul.
Awesome. What do you got, Jeremy?
Oh boy. So I'll jump on the Glyos. I got this guy too, but
Of course you did. I did it first.
I
So.
have I have a different head and different. I got a gun on his arm, so yeah, that's my one Glyos that I got. I also
Just one, huh?
don't have a job. Probably shouldn't even got that one. I also I didn't plan on getting this figure, but when Walmart said, "Hey, it's $10,"
Oh, how do you not?
how do you not get Beetlejuice?
Fuck, did I order that fucking that hooker house of his? God damn it. I wanted that thing.
I wanted that thing too.
Fuck.
Is that from the second movie? Or is that from the original?
It's just labeled as Beetlejuice.
Oh, okay.
So
I mean, is that his outfit? Or did he have the same outfit in both?
yeah, his same outfit.
Oh, okay.
So
Did you ever see the second one?
No.
Worth it.
So yeah, it was $10, and it came with, of course, the what is it? The handbook for the recently deceased. I want to make sure I said that right. And then like a snake. So he's not super articulated. Like his arms go up and down, his hands move and stuff. But like his legs don't at all. They're just in a fixed position. His waist does turn a little bit. Head turns. Boots turn. So he's not super posable, but for $10, I couldn't say no. Check your local Walmarts. They are putting some shit on.
They're clearancing some
sale.
shit, are they?
Yeah, some
Okay.
NECA turtle stuff, and
Damn it.
I didn't jump on all that because I don't need some of that shit.
Real
But,
quick.
and then I got
Great sculpt.
wonderful skull. I got the Shredder figure, which just came out.
What?
For Archie, the Archie Comics version of
So
it.
did this just come out? Like actually just come out, or
Yes.
just come out where Travis said it's been a few months, and then Lacey
No,
Dean was
this
like that
just-
came out in 2021.
No, this just
Which
came
is
out.
wild.
It's the one
So-
where he's displayed with the Krang on his head, but he does come with
With
a
a shredder.
shredder head as well. This is one of the better Shredder figures. Better Shredder. I always like the storyline in the Archie comics where Krang took up residence on his head and started controlling him. But yeah, it's odd that my Walmart hasn't seen the fucking Tatsu yet, but here we are getting the brand new Krang Shredder. So, and he comes with a bonsai tree. Pretty freaking sweet. And the last thing I got, I didn't have to pay for it because, you know, I paid for it in blood, sweat, and tears, is, oops, the Nintendo 64 Quest
Oh, nice.
on Blu-ray.
Nice.
That's right. I drew that controller.
You did
I did that art.
that too?
Just the logo down here. But if you pull it out of the sleeve, everybody, sleeve. I did that. Except for some of the background stuff that was Rob manipulating. But nope, I drew all that. Get it here so you can see it.
Wow.
You the man.
Yep. And then some of the stuff on the back. But I haven't watched this one yet. Oh, that's fun. Look, I didn't even open it up yet.
Oh, that's super fun.
Yeah, different color Nintendo 64 Momotes.
A lot of nostalgia.
You do all those?
I just did one color and he manipulated them. You know, you gotta, if you want a cheap price, you gotta, you only get a few things from me. So,
That's cool.
but yeah, I haven't watched this yet. I've watched Nintendo Quest.
Yeah, which
It's
is good.
actually-
I've watched that too.
Yep, which is actually I watched that long before I even knew who Rob was or Jay. But yeah, basically they, what's the premise?
Is that a video of an Orj?
Oh.
Because I've watched more than one Orj video.
or Jay. So basically, the premise is one man, 14 days, 296 games, $20,000, no online purchases. So he's got to try to get the entire Nintendo 64 line in 2
Wow.
weeks. So
Like going places and buying from people.
Mm-hmm.
Not
yes, yeah, like going to stores and yep, And-
Trading, buying things at one store, trading that at another store to get a certain
Yep.
game.
Selling your body.
I don't
So,
know
like-
if he sells his body, but we'll find out.
Don't ruin it for me.
I'm sure it's probably streaming somewhere at this point too. I can't be positive on that though. But yeah, Rob's films are super fun. So, and especially Jay, plus their Canadian accent is so cute.
Yeah, they get in and out of a lot of things.
Yeah, you like to hear what they're talking about.
hear about it.
Wouldn't it be so awesome that you could make your career just fucking something that you love doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Make a career just fucking something you love.
It's not too late.
It's called
is it?
porno.
I was gonna say it's not too late, is it?
No, it's
So-
never too late, right? That's what they say anyway. I feel like it's too late for me. But
His is cooler than yours.
It's the exact same.
Nah, head is so much cooler.
I love that hat on there.
So that's the two figures. I just swapped the heads and arms.
Mm-hmm.
Writing jingle. Yeah, I do love writing me some jingles. By the way, Maverick, you need to tell me if you like that current mix, because I could use the rest of that fucking money.
Doing a little Maverick theme song. I can't wait to hear it.
All it is it's just his reprogramming noise, and it sounds like you're logging on to fucking AOL in 2001. Yeah. Beep boop.
Oh goddamn!
So my armory purchase from Four Horsemen came in.
Oh, so this, I'm sorry, we're getting into man stuff now. I apologize.
Time to get manly.
Yeah.
Yep. And the best thing about the armory figures is they're awesome, but they really get awesome if you got a couple heads to put on them or something to play.
Great
So
for custom heads.
I raided Travis's little rack over here during the show to make things a little more interesting, but I did place the head that came on him. I love this figure. I saw it. I'm like, I love the leather parts. Anytime I can get my hands on the leather parts, I love the leather parts. I can't remember what the name of that one was. The one I just put up is called the Black Knight. So,
It's a little on the nose, don't you think?
well, I don't quite think he was the Black Knight until I put the head on him. Now I made the Black Knight, right?
Yeah.
That's racist.
Is it? So, and then, yeah, last but not least, I grabbed this purple armor, which I thought looked really cool,
I love these so much.
with a green orc head on it. Because, I mean, come on, purple and, I mean, it's Hulk, right? It's a Hulk.
Yeah.
They're complementary colors. They go together.
No, it looks
So-
great.
I wonder if that's why I see it when I used to take acid back in my teens. Purple and green would always.
What the fuck? Why'd you
What's
do
up,
that?
pal? Purple and green would always outline everything. It was fucked up.
Because it was the Hulk in your head?
Maybe.
Literally, how does two figures just fall down off the shelf like that?
Where'd they fall from? Up there?
Yeah.
So, I think
It's the angriest I've ever seen you.
Pisses me off.
Are the armory figures still up on Store Horseman at this point?
Maybe some of them. Maybe some.
You think it's possible we'll have them at MesquiteCon?
I'm gonna be honest with you. My hope is hell yes. Yes. But I obviously I can't spoil anything. Horsemen love this game, but I think you may be excited by some of the things on the table at MesquiteCon.
Ooh, Legion's Row is gonna be rocking.
Yes, without a doubt, and I'm super excited about it because there's certain figures that I wanted more of, and the opportunity to get more sounds exciting.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
Well, if these figures are there, I'm gonna be at least one person that's gonna have some heads for you to buy to spice these guys up, if you wish.
They're perfect for custom heads.
They're awesome to do.
They are
You just
perfect.
pop
Well,
a head on it. And,
But this has been something that people have been clamoring for because they're like, great, I went to Legion's Con and I bought 19 awesome heads and I can't do shit with them. You know, in the last few years with being, you know, the builders that they've been doing, and then of course now getting into they're feeding that, they're feeding us with that shit, which is just absolutely awesome.
Well, even if you're not even talking about custom heads, which don't get me wrong, if you're a Legions fan and you're not buying custom heads, you're missing out. I mean, that's just the reality of it. But even the fact that a lot of these figures come with multiple heads,
Right.
and it gives you something like,
Well, the Horseman has sold us head packs.
without a doubt,
You know, like right from Four Horsemen. Here's 5 awesome heads. Find a body to put them on.
And I've seen people putting the Jaguar, the black cat head on one of these figures, and I'm like, it looks fucking amazing.
It's crazy how just a head can completely change a figure.
It's
for you.
wild. And not only that, but you know, some people complained, well, these are just reuse of parts, blah blah blah. Which I'm like, fuck you. You're not even a toy collector. Like
Right.
you don't understand how this shit works. You're whatever.
As I sit over here and keep buying the same 6 sculpts in various colors.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I mean, what toy collector doesn't understand how this works? Like I don't
Candy
understand
cane
it.
He-Man.
Yeah, like I get it. So like I look at these though, and the colors that they chose for these basic, you know, knights are fucking fire. I just love them. And I just made a post the other day talking about how much fun it was building these at Legion's Con.
which is interesting. Can you hand me his purple knight? Right there. Did you build the exact knight that they offered?
Probably.
What's wrong?
I just just give me I'm okay. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Oh, shoulders are so fun as you get old.
I just had a little hitch in the bitty up there, and I realized my arm wasn't going to twist that way. I had to loosen it out.
Is this exactly? Did you build the exact one they offered?
I did.
That's funny.
Different helmet, probably, of course. I don't know.
it's a different head.
Yeah. But, yeah, that sounds about right.
That's funny.
Yeah. I don't know. These, and it's wild, too, because this, whatever this one here is, I don't remember what this one's called, the silver and brown that you have the Emil head on.
Yeah.
Like,
They're all Emil heads, by the way. But yes,
That's a God's Fire, right?
those are all God's. Well, the
orc isn't, but
the orc is just a regular.
Oh, I'm
Emil.
sorry, and I didn't see the order.
But these two definitely are, and I'll tell you, like, that color combination to me is just so good. It's so good.
He's talking about the brown leather with the gunmetal-ish color armor.
These guys are just sitting on gold. I mean, because, you know, next year they choose to do dwarves or orcs or I mean, skeletons
yeah.
or goblins.
I think it'd be just fun to even have just dwarf limbs mixed in with this, so you could make a dwarf if you wanted, but you don't have to make a dwarf if you wanna.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
I don't want to dwarf.
I'm sure
it
they're
up.
gonna do something cooler than I think of, but
I don't want to dwarf it up.
it's kind of what I would like to see anyway.
Yeah, they look great. They absolutely look great.
So happy to get these.
Super cool. Mount Rushmore time.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you know what? Because we haven't really, nothing's popped off that we really want to, that we needed to call anybody for. Let's get somebody on the line.
Ooh.
And let's bring them in on the spot and
I like
have them
it.
do it with it. You got to give them ultimate veto power.
Give them ultimate veto.
All right. So we're gonna spin the wheel. And we're gonna watch an ad because my wheel spinner's free. And
In the meantime, have they ever made a Samus Aran figure from Metroid that or something similar
spinning.
in Glyos? People, let me know
All right.
because it would just.
They're not going to answer.
Oh, somebody will answer.
Oh,
That
we'll
or
get
Mega Man?
someone that answers.
Mega Man or Samus
I-
Aran? That would be killer.
Not going to answer.
They're gonna answer.
Oh, snap.
What's up, buddy?
Is it real?
This is real, at least for now until I forget about it. So, hey, listeners, welcome Justin Aquila to the show. How you doing, buddy?
Good, how you doing?
Not too bad. So we're just getting into our Mount Rushmore segment, and it's Jeremy's topic this week, and it is the Mount Rushmore of 80s sitcoms. So we are gonna go around the room, and we're all gonna pick our 4, and then we're gonna turn to you, and we're gonna give you ultimate veto power. If you decide there's something that belongs on there, you get to remove one of our choices and put whatever you think deserves on there. Fair enough?
All right.
All right, and lose our friendship.
Well, only one of us, because you're not going to kick all 4 of us off.
Yeah, and I don't even know them.
It does have to begin in the 80s, right?
No, it just had to exist in the 80s, right?
Whatever. It has.
You
The way I
said-
look at it, it needs to be like popular in the 80s. Like it's
You
popularity
said
was
first
in the
episode,
80s.
or you said
It should have started in the 80s.
Started in the 80s.
So that
Okay.
means-
So you're going to get a little time here to Google, Justin. You got a little time
Yep.
here, buddy.
I'm already doing it.
Perfect.
You have to. I mean, that's reality.
So live chat people on YouTube, are you able to hear Justin okay? If you want to give us that, if you let me know if you heard him okay. So we're going to start with the oldest to the youngest. That's how it goes. Yes. Right? So that means Jeremy, you go first, correct? As the oldest?
No.
Jeremy's not the oldest.
You're not the oldest?
Travis is the oldest.
Yes.
You're the oldest?
I'm like
Oh.
I'm the second
He's
youngest.
second to you. It's Travis, me, him,
Yes.
you.
Sorry. All right.
Yes.
I know I look the oldest,
Yep.
but
Okay. All right, Travis, Mount Rushmore, 80s sitcoms. What do you have?
This is an easy one for me because this might be shocking to everyone.
You didn't watch family shows.
I did not watch family shows. I take that back. The show I watched was definitely a family show.
Because your sister watched it.
Not even close.
Oh, I thought for sure it was going to be like
This-
my
this
stupid
was-
sister
it's
made me watch.
definitely Elf.
Mr. Belvedere.
Married with Children.
Ooh, good
Okay.
choice.
Does that have a laugh track? I know that was we talked
Totally,
about.
yes.
I feel like it hit all the sitcom
Yeah.
kind of things.
Yeah.
Well, but a laugh,
Yep.
but when you say laugh track, a laugh track is not an 80s thing. And
No,
the laughing
no.
in the
Oh, yeah.
80s shows
No,
because
but
it was
it's
in
a
front of a
sitcom
live
thing.
right,
Yeah.
but it was
Yeah.
but that was in front of a live studio audience. A laugh track came in after they didn't have live studio audiences anymore.
Well, they kind of did both.
Can you hear the people laughing?
Right.
That's what I would
That's it.
consider.
Is there
Right.
canned laughter? Is there laughter being thrown in your face to let you know that it's funny?
So you know it's time to laugh.
Married with Children for me hit a lot of
masturbation opportunities?
that's a
Bud was hot.
No, Travis is like, do you know how many millions of my potential children died thinking of Marcy? So
Well, you know the weird thing is back then it would have been Kelly, but as a 46-year-old man, it's more
it's
Peg.
Peg.
I'll be honest, I always was really into Peg. Kelly was, I don't get me wrong, also into Kelly too.
Yeah.
But
So is Bud.
something about Peg was
She did nothing for me back then.
What do you say? What did Justin say?
Go ahead, Justin.
Peg was totally milfable.
oh yes. Yeah.
And she's only gotten milfier.
without a doubt.
Sons of Anarchy. I'm like, yeah, give it to me. Come on, Gemma.
And I know a lot of people would not put this on their Rushmore, but for me and my
It would have been on my list.
yeah, I loved that show. Al Bundy was a fucking rock star.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah,
That whole show was something. There wasn't a show like that until that point.
Yeah.
It was raunchy. It was funny. It was. I mean, Fox was trying to prove themselves. They were kind of a new,
Fox was a shit back then.
yeah, back
man.
then. Hell yeah. So Yeah, that was.
Well, because back then you had ABC, NBC, CBS, the big
Yeah.
three.
Yeah.
And that was
you know,
it.
You know what I think was weird choice by my parents? I couldn't watch Bart Simpson,
But you
I
could watch.
I watched Married with Children.
Same thing. I couldn't watch the Simpsons, but I could watch Seinfeld.
Oh yeah.
So, all right. So Justin, first choice. Travis, Married with Children. What's your knee jerk on that? Is belonging on Rushmore?
I mean, I like the show, but I don't know about Rushmore material.
All right. All right, Steven. Steven, what's your choice?
Okay, so I'm not going to pick my favorite. Again, I'm going to go with what I think was probably one of the biggest and most influential sitcoms that we ever had. And although I did watch this and liked it, there's another sitcom I would pick. And I thought this was going to be anybody's first pick. So I'm going to go with Family Ties.
Michael Keaton, right? Michael P. Keaton.
Michael P.
Alex
Michael J.
P. Keaton.
Michael J. Fox.
Michael J. Fox was Alex P. Keaton.
Michael P. Keaton, Alex J.
So you want to know why? Do you want to know why I know that? I know that because of the LFO song "Summer Girls." Because I didn't watch Family Ties, and you want to know what? The dad in that will never be the dad in Family Ties. The dad will always be Tremors.
Yep, Tremors.
So here's what I think. This show debuted in I think 82 when I looked it up. It's very early in the 80s and it set the tone for almost a lot of stuff that came after it.
Agreed.
Michael J. Fox shot up to stardom like crazy. It was pre Back to the Future.
I think they struggled schedule wise too. 'Cause
They
he was
did.
filming
He was
with-
filming-
would film in the
Yeah.
day there, and then at night for
Yeah.
The
Back to
motherfucker was like
Future.
24/7 just filming.
Then he was doing Teen Wolf, and
Yeah,
That was they did a Movies That Made Us on Back to the Future, didn't they?
I believe it.
It was, and that was a big part of that. That they talked about his crazy schedule to pull that off.
They did that documentary on Michael J. Fox now with his the shaky disease. he has.
Parkinson's?
Yep.
And they went through his history and all of that pretty thoroughly. So, that's my pick.
man. So I feel there were definitely bigger ones than both of those.
Without a doubt.
Hold on, before you pick, Jeremy. Justin, we have two very different ends of the spectrum so
Yes,
far. Would you
Very
agree?
different.
Oh, absolutely.
Did you watch Family? Do you remember watching Family? Wait, quick question. If you don't mind answering this, Justin, how old are you?
I'm gonna be 44 tomorrow.
And we know the
44
feeling.
tomorrow. Well, happy early
Happy
birthday.
pre-birthday.
So he's right with you guys.
Yeah.
So
Couple years
he's
younger
right in the
than me.
vein. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool breeze. All right. So
Is anyone shocked that Steven and I are so far apart?
No. Not at all. I'm sitting here going, oh, okay, wholesome, family's great. We pray before we eat, Steven, and then you've got Travis banging chicks in the boatyard. So yeah.
That are related to him.
Basically, Al calling his daughter a whore.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So Jeremy.
Yeah, there's a few that I could add now. I swear I thought you guys were gonna pick them. They're obvious ones, but I think I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna go with one of my favorites, and Roseanne.
Ooh,
Okay.
I never thought of Roseanne.
My number
Right.
2.
Yeah, Roseanne was the first like sitcom where I was like, I can relate to a lot of this.
But
Yeah.
that was what Roseanne did.
yeah,
Because everybody was like, "Oh yeah, we have a hand-me-down couch."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, guess what? Dad lost his job. Mom's not working.
my grandma had
it
the
was
Afghan
real.
that was on the couch.
Right. That
And there were
was
He-Man toys in the background.
that was very very real. That was a regular family with real life struggles. You know.
It's more 90s.
What year did it come out?
Well, married
87.
and same with Married with Children. Married with Children was like 87.
Well, if that's how you feel about his pick, you're not gonna like mine, Cody.
My second pick is not on the board yet, and it came out in '89. I'm not going to say it yet. But
Your number 1, you said?
my second pick. If
Okay.
you guys would have taken Family Ties, I had a second pick, and it would have been only
He
one
knew
year.
you weren't gonna take it.
He was pretty comfortable.
And, see,
No,
that's,
wasn't.
and that's the thing, Cody, is like it's hard because if it starts in the 80s, I mean, it could start in 89, and its popularity could have been in the 90s too. So that's like why last week I was kind of like, is like Turtles an 80s cartoon or is it a 90s cartoon?
Yeah.
Because it was probably more popular in the 90s than it was the 80s, but yeah. What year did it come out? 88. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn, we old.
I
Yeah, I
remember
know.
my mom. She didn't like Roseanne because she grabbed her crotch at the, did the national anthem, and that just wasn't ladylike. Where did he run off to now?
I don't know. He pees a lot.
What?
What do you
What-
think of that
why-
one, Justin?
Which one was it?
Roseanne.
Roseanne.
So Roseanne, I absolutely love. My wife actually currently rewatches it all the time right now. But when I was a kid back in my household, for whatever reason, my dad she just hated Roseanne Barr, so it was just like never allowed on TV in my household. So it wasn't one that was really well watched back in the 80s at my house.
And I can see that because that she definitely obviously wasn't for everybody.
Yeah, yeah, she's very loud, over the top, and it's who she is.
I think Dan was probably my favorite on that show.
Dan was great.
Yeah, John Goodman is
Definitely.
awesome.
Did you watch the reiteration, the Connors and all that?
Yeah, and Laura actually just went through and watched all of it too. And speaking of Peggy Bundy, she ended up being on that show and being the replacement, for Dan's wife. Looking better.
Yeah.
Looking pretty good.
Oh, way big upgrade
So-
from Roseanne.
Now we're to me. So when I look back on my formative years, I never watched Family Ties. Married with Children and like Roseanne, a lot of that stuff was like syndicated when I first saw it, right? So I think of sitcoms that I watched that I actually kind of feel like I have more of a connection to. And my Mount Rushmore for 80 sitcoms, Saved by the Bell.
Oh.
So now debuted in August of '89.
Yeah.
So
it's at
damn
the
near
tail
1990.
end. Yeah.
Counts.
And when I looked, but this like to Cody's point earlier, this is a '90s show. I mean,
Yeah.
it really is a '90s show,
sure.
right?
Yeah.
So, but I looked, and when I was doing my research to make sure my dates were correct, episode 1 of Saved by the Bell is Casey Kasem hosting the dance competition at the Max.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where the hell's Miss Bliss? Saved by the Bell, that's not on IMDb. That first season they did that had Miss Bliss and all
When
that.
they're in middle school.
Yeah. It was actually according to the Google, it's called Good Morning Miss Bliss.
Right,
It's
yeah.
not listed as Saved by the Bell.
Right.
And I always watched Saved by the Bell, and it was Miss Bliss. I didn't realize it had a different title.
Yeah.
So that was 1988. They did one season of that, and then it became Saved by the Bell in '89.
Wow.
So that was a huge one to me. But I will tell you that when you first brought this up, when you talk about the show to me as a kid, I grew up watching that I connected with, it was Boy Meets World. But that didn't start till 93.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that was one that I actually watched as it came out. TGIF, man. That was Home Improvement and Family Matters and all those sitcoms that I watched, Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Yeah.
That was all 90s
Those were all
stuff.
90s for sure.
Because
Yeah.
again, I was almost 84 when I was born.
4 or 5 years difference back then is a huge.
It's huge.
Gap.
It's
so
absolutely
sad
huge.
because Boy Meets World. I watched it, but I hated Corey.
Right? He's the worst character.
Corey
on the
is
show.
It's
such
not
a-
about hating Corey. It's about loving Topanga.
I hated,
Corey, the main character. Never watched
Yeah,
it. Never
Savage.
once.
Yeah.
Never
Ben
once.
Savage.
hated Corey, loved his brother,
Will. Yep.
and loved Sean.
Yeah. Sean.
But I was like, Corey's a little bitch. He's a little bitch. He's just such a beta, little freaking wimp.
I never, and of course, to me, everybody sees Mr. Feeney and they're like, hey, it's Knight Rider. And I'm like, what does that mean? Because I had no
Right.
connection to Knight Rider. It was before my time.
Yeah.
So, all right, Justin. So,
Before we
go
get
ahead.
before we get Justin to weigh in, I just want to be honest. I'm so glad that we called Justin in on this, because Cody, what year were you born?
93.
yeah.
He's probably like, I have no idea on some of these shows.
This is not the one that Cody should be the veto vote on for sure.
So we realistically, like, I will tell you that of your 3 picks, Roseanne beats the shit out of the other 2 because again I grew up on Roseanne because Roseanne went well into the 90s,
Yeah.
where Family Ties did not.
And honestly,
You know?
like looking at it too, I'm going, yeah, it was more popular in the 90s, but like the parameters that we kind of set.
Right.
I feel weird because there were definitely some bigger shows in the 80s.
Well, that's
Oh,
what
for
makes
sure.
that's what makes this difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without any rules, it's a free for all.
Yes.
Right.
Which
So-
is what this show always is.
Hey, I did
Many
some
of us
research.
were born
so
in the
I'll
early
have some-
80s. You know, we were watching cartoons for the early years, and then, you know, the 80s sitcoms for us were the late 80s.
Right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I want to run through real quick before we jump in.
I want to hear what Cody was going to say.
Oh, Cody, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
No, I wasn't. I was just saying from my research of the ones that I saw that were more 80s vibe compared to like the 90s shows that we were talking
Yeah.
about would be Cheers,
Cheers was on my
The
short
Golden Girls, which
Yeah.
we kind of talked about earlier, Family Ties, and then
Cosby Show.
Cosby Show was on my
Oh,
short list.
So,
in Full House.
Cosby Show was
Full House,
pretty
too.
fucking good.
Full House was 80s.
Yeah.
Now, one that there's two shows that I remember watching as a child, and I didn't look either of these up, but I'm almost certain they started in the 80s, that my mom absolutely loved. Empty Nest
Okay.
I like Dickie
and
Dust.
Evening Shade.
That
Don't
one I
remember
don't
that.
know if I'm familiar with.
Burt Reynolds. And I don't remember a ton about it, but I remember those two being huge in my house. Run through some of the listeners' stuff. So Family Ties, Cheers,
Cheers, absolutely.
Married with 1-6 Shooter, Married Children was groundbreaking.
I'd count Wonder Years, even though there wasn't a laugh track. It was definitely sort of a
Yep.
sitcom, sort of.
Family Ties, Different Strokes.
I think
which
it's more of
never
a drama.
watched.
Yeah,
Golden
Different
Girls,
Strokes was
Wonder
huge.
Years. Soap was ahead of its time, which that was a sitcom that was basically making fun of soap operas, right?
Benson.
So
Oh, I remember Benson.
Yep.
Yep.
MASH.
MASH. The only reason why I didn't say MASH is because it came out in '72.
Yeah.
Well, but
But
was
it was.
it aired
I watched it
forever.
all the time in
It
the
aired
80s, yeah.
forever.
But the other thing to me though too is when I think sitcom, it has to be a 22-minute episode.
Okay.
When you talk about a traditional 80s sitcom, we're not talking about an hour-long show. That's a half-hour show with commercials. That's a 22-minute show.
Fair.
And that was, again, how I justified it in my head. Webster, Cosby, and then Silver Spoons. I do
Yeah.
remember watching that.
Yeah.
Mr.
Here we
Belvedere.
are, face to face.
What's Tony Danza?
Silvers. Oh,
Who's the boss?
Who's the boss?
That's like one of my absolute favorites.
Right.
too.
I really like Who's the Boss.
But who's the boss?
But I
That's
had to say Roseanne over it.
But
Yeah.
who's the boss? That's iconic 80s, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Samantha.
And then Moonlighting was considered a comedy,
Yep.
according to 1-6 Shooter. So, all right. So,
Three's Company was '70s.
I love Three's Company.
Me
I
too.
never
Yeah, so good.
see. That's not my John Ritter. You know what I mean? I just because I didn't. It was way too before me.
John Ritter was packing in those white pants.
Yes, he was.
And those ladies were, they were.
Lots of nipple.
Mrs. Roper.
Yes.
Perfect Strangers. Yeah.
Did you say Mrs. Roper?
Yeah.
So, hey, Cody, do me a quick Google of just TGIF lineup over the years.
God dang it, Steven.
Well, we've got Steve Urkel's show.
Family
Yeah.
Matters. Yep, that
Yep,
was
Family
mentioned.
Matters,
That was a
Full
good one.
House,
Step by Step.
Step by step.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Doogie Howser. That wasn't TGIF, but
Oh, that's way new there, buddy. Married to the Kellys in 2003.
what the fuck is that?
So
Yeah, Friday night, if you were lame and you didn't have any friends to hang out with, you were watching this shit.
Mr. Belvedere, Full House, Family Matters.
What are we doing
Step
on
by
Friday?
Step.
I guess we're gonna watch Urkel.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch, late 90s.
Hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Justin, you are about to make an enemy.
Yep.
Yeah, because I
I
wonder.
hope you got a good decision.
I wonder
man.
what kind of
and we know you're going to be a Mesquite buddy.
Right.
wonder what kind of havoc he's going to ensue.
So, all right, Justin. So now you are tasked with in this Patreon the Spot. You are tasked with vetoing one of our guesses and replacing it with a more well-deserving 80s sitcom on our Mount Rushmore. So,
Damn.
what I would like to know
Does he
first,
have to? Could
No,
he agree?
he doesn't.
Oh,
He could agree.
You could agree. You
And-
absolutely could agree.
No judgment.
If you do not
a
agree,
little bit of judgment.
I would like to know what you feel deserves
Hogan
to be
family.
there first, and then what you would remove to put it up there. So you're on, buddy. Go ahead.
Okay, so it was, remind me, Saved by the Bell, Roseanne.
Family
Man,
Ties and
Family
Married
Ties
with
and
Children.
Ooh, I would probably take off Family Ties.
Okay.
Sorry, Steven.
So
Two, I don't know.
you're a classic My Wife Is Gonna Kill Me fan because you cannot fucking follow instructions. What show belongs up there first, and then what would you remove? But so you're kicking off Family Ties. What show needs to go up there to make this whole?
Out of your four.
No,
No,
you've removed Family Ties, so now you have to replace it with one that's not up there.
Yeah, what's
okay.
better than Family Ties?
Easy, Cosby Show.
That's fair.
Cosby Show was pretty fucking good.
I agree. Cosby
I
Show should
mean,
be up there, but
For its time, Bill was everywhere.
Right.
I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
Of course, we're now where we are with.
he was everywhere.
Whether you remembered it or not, he was there.
okay. So I just want to say,
Bill Cosby was like everything in our childhood.
Oh,
He was
yeah.
everywhere on everything. He had
Picture
didn't he have,
pages.
like picture page, and I mean,
Fat Albert.
Pudding Pops.
Yeah,
So-
Pudding Pops definitely. So
Ghost
I mean,
Dad.
the Cosby Show, and then they had the spin-off series of what was a Different World.
Yep.
So it's just they were kind of just it was an ever-present show. It felt like.
Yeah.
Justin is going to be at MesquiCon, so everybody watch your drinks.
Right. Or you're going to end up getting his pudding pop.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, hey, thank you, Justin, for playing along, man. We appreciate it. And we'll put you back in the mix. It won't be probably for at least a few weeks. Try to mix it up a little bit, but we'll definitely get you back on the horn, man.
Love you, buddy.
Before I sign off,
Yep.
I just want to say I was at the Royal Rumble last night. Which,
Oh.
wrestling should be on a Mount Rushmore too, maybe someday. And I just want to say,
Oh,
dude,
That's going to happen for sure.
I thought about that right
yeah,
away. I
so,
just didn't want to
mean,
pop
the
that.
Royal Rumble to me, biggest, not to derail you, I'll stop in a second, but it was such an atmosphere. I absolutely loved it. It was a bucket list item for me. So,
Dude, watching the videos from that, just being in the arena, even if you don't give a fuck about wrestling, the fireworks, the
Yeah.
environment, wow.
yeah, it's a concert. It was amazing. So that'd be a good one for a future one.
It's gonna have to be future ones because you're gonna have to either break it by decades or WWE versus WWF or whatever. But I will say based on that comment, listening to Two Bears One Cave, Tom Segura was talking about being at the Tyson fight, and he's like shit ass fight. But man, being in that room was amazing. Just like you said, the atmosphere and being around it. He's like, you could have not even looked at the boxing match and had a great time with just the people that were there and the whole ambiance of all of it. So, well, cool, man. Well, hey, it was great talking to you. We appreciate you very much, man. And we'll talk to you. We'll be on. Well, obviously, we'll see you on social media, but we look forward to seeing you in person here in a couple months.
Heck yeah, we'll see you guys real soon.
All right, later on, bud.
Later, guys.
See ya.
Well,
I love that dude.
That was bullshit.
Trevor, I agree with you.
I even love him more that he knocked yours off the fucking mountain, dude.
Dude, Cosby Show should be ahead of Married with Children.
What?
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
My Two Dads.
I loved it, but
I think
iconic, man. I just,
Family Ties should be there.
Punky Brewster.
That should be gone.
Well, no, I would say no. Again, when I think sitcom in my head, it's evening. It's prime time.
Okay.
Prime time, 22 minutes,
more of a
live
kid's
studio audience.
Yeah, he picked Saved by the Bell, which wasn't on the evening.
No, it absolutely wasn't.
And I don't think that's live studio audience either.
I don't think so.
No.
But that speaks to the time when it
track,
came
though.
out.
Yeah, Cheers definitely should probably.
Somebody
be on
refresh
that
me on
list.
My Two Dads.
Had Stacy.
Well,
Keaton.
one of them was an assurance salesman. The other guy gave you up at birth.
That was quick. That was quick.
Oh, shit.
Well done. That was well done. That was well done.
Oh yeah, Night Court.
Oh, great baseline.
I liked Night Court.
God, there were so many good ones. How do you pick 4? But yeah, I mean,
Well, it's like anything. It's
Oh,
tough.
yeah.
It's tough. Dude, you're talking 10 years of fucking amazing television, right? I mean, that's pretty tough to pick 4. I mean, at least we all picked
Pretty
the right
easy.
ones.
It's pretty easy to pick Family
Well, we
Ties.
picked the right ones.
Family Ties beats the shit out
Charles in Charge.
Oh, he wasn't.
Growing Pains. How did we not talk about Growing Pains? Came out in the 80s, didn't
Growing
it?
Pains was fucking huge.
Growing
Right.
Pains.
Canadian Sweetheart, Alan,
Full House.
whatever. Thick.
Full House is a hard one to deny. In fact, I think
It is. It actually started, 90 or 87, I think? Full House dropped.
Yeah, it's too many good ones to just.
There's
pick
all
one.
these
Top
perfect.
10 would have been better.
But think about it. Back then, Full House, My Two Dads, Perfect Strangers, all these dudes living together, none of them banging.
that we know of.
But now in today's society, you got two guys living together. They're a gay couple because they're like, hey, we got to have a gay couple. You know?
Yeah.
So good stuff. Anything that we missed? Anything you guys can think of that?
plenty.
I think Trevor's got a great list though. Cheers, Cosby.
Yeah,
Roseanne, and Married with
Trevor's
Children.
damn near 60. You know what I mean? Like that's not.
Cosby Show, Family Ties, Cheers, and Full House. That's the four that should have been there.
Wow.
Growing Pains.
I love Growing Pains. One of my personal favorite ones. I'm not sure it ranks up there with them other ones. As far as
Who's the Boss? I don't.
I love
it's
Who's
so
the
hard.
I love Who's the Boss
Who's the
too.
Boss is still good.
I did like Who's the Boss too.
I can't think about Who's the Boss without tearing up a little bit because I think about Who's the Boss and I think about Tony Danza and then I think about Angels in the Outfield and I think about him dying and becoming an angel and I tear up a little
All I
bit.
think about is Jonathan, Mona, Angela.
That was Judith Light, right?
Yeah.
Who-
Samantha. Alyssa Milano.
I just remember when I thought of
Changed my life.
Melissa Lano. She changed my life, and then she broke my heart when she did porn.
She did
She
porn?
didn't do porn. She just showed her boobies in that one movie.
Pretty sure I thought she was a porn star.
That's
for a while.
that's porn to Steve.
No. Oh yeah, right. No, she just showed her boobies in a couple movies.
Aw,
I guess I gotta go do some
Yeah,
research.
Poison Ivy 2.
totally wrecked my.
First one had Drew
kind of like
Barrymore. The
kind
second
of like
one had Alyssa Milano.
kind of like when I used to hold Vanna White on a pedestal, and she were hauled off and went to Playboy and showed them to everybody.
I guess.
End the fucking show.
We've been here 3.5
right.
fucking hours.
So I got a Star Wars show I want to talk about.
We didn't start till 10.
Let's do this. Shut her down.
All right, and wrapping up episode 300, and it's not labeled because Cody's like, fuck that. 340-ish. Huge thanks to Justin Aquila for being our first Patreon on the spot. Hope you guys had a little bit of fun with that. If you are a Patreon supporter, you can message me your phone number, or you can message me and I can message you mine. I do assure you, I'm not going to share that with anybody unless specifically you tell me to. Like, for instance, one person said, hey, can you give my number to Travis? And I am going to do that. But I'm not going to share it. We're never going to see it live on the show. We are obviously going to respect your privacy. We just want to have a little fun with you. And again, we want to try to do more for our Patreon and less for our super chatters. Fuck you, Curtis. Travis Bowles, Cody's in the booth, Jeremy DeWitt, Steve's in the bathroom. Until next time, I'm Pete McCarthy. We'll see you guys in the toy aisle.